competition time again, and here is a chance to win a brand new PS5. All you got to do is subscribe to On Track GP on YouTube.
Also follow us on Instagram at OnTrackGP. Make sure you like the competition post, it's pinned on Instagram as well.
You can win yourself this right now. What are you waiting for?
Can I enter? Or can I have a go?
No.
KSI, Joe Fournier, Saturday the 13th of May, 8 p.m.
Catch the boxing live on DR Sports.
Good afternoon and welcome back to DR Sports for another edition of the Saturday Football Show. As you've just seen there is a chance to win a PS5. I might enter that one myself because I still haven't caught up with the 21st century yet. I'm still on the old GameCube. So I'm going to get involved. You should too. Go over to the Instagram and find out how you can win. Also, KSI, Joe Fournier tonight, the big fight on the Misfits card. Massive fight. We've got Nick, we've got Laurie, we've got James Toon for the boxing as well. So make sure you watch that. But this is the Saturday Football Show. It's 2:30. You know what time it is. My man Fuad to the left of me, as usual. To his left, we've got Cass. And also on my right, we've got Tom, the Chelsea fan.
Hey, full house, full house.
The full house today. How are we, boys? Feeling good?
Confident.
Don't say that. They're already calling you a jinxer in the comments.
I don't mind. They're just hating, innit? It's all right. They wish they were here with me talking to AGT, Fuad and Tom.
There you go.
There you
go. It's not bad Saturday, is it?
It's not bad.
If you are commenting, make sure you like the video as well upon entry and subscribe to DR Sports if you haven't already. Very close to 290,000 on YouTube. Some really good 3 o'clock kickoffs today, by the way, boys. We've got Aston Villa Spurs, Chelsea Forest, Palace Bournemouth, Man United versus the mighty Wolverhampton Wanderers, of course, and Southampton versus Fulham as well. We've just seen Leeds claw back a 2-2 draw from Newcastle as well. What are your instant thoughts on that one? A massive point for Leeds, and is it 2 points dropped for Newcastle, that one?
Yeah, 100% 2 points dropped. They've never been in this position before, well, maybe in a long time since, the late 90s, you could say. Getting top four is a must-do for them, and the fact that they drop points is now they've got to go. Leicester's got to go to their ground. They've got to get that win no matter what. They're also looking to not get relegated. And in this game, they didn't play the best, but they got 2 penalties. Could have nicked it. Could have sat back, and maybe you could say Eddie Howe was a little bit naive in a way, because you saw, St. Maximin come on, Gordon come on, and he tried to go for the kill, and they got an offside goal. And Liverpool are creeping, and they know what. You know what it's like to be in the business end of the season to get the job done. And that's the same with Man United, to be fair. They're in the same position as Newcastle. They win today to go on the same amount of points. I wonder what psychological effect it puts on to Newcastle lads.
Do you think you've got top 4 secure?
Oh, 100%.
I don't know,
Clip that up just in case.
No, because I'm thinking, do you know what it is? The reason why I'm asking is because I'm seeing Liverpool kind of hit their stride at the right time. Trent's coming back to form. Gakpo's in form. Salah's back in form. The team's starting to click. They've started to find the new shape. Diaz coming back into injury. And I feel, listen, you can reel it off all day, but I feel like they're just hitting the right stride at the right time. And you guys are almost crumbling at the right time.
It's nothing new, though, if we're being honest. Because you know what it is?
I know. Next 3 games, I'll be honest with you, I can see Liverpool just steamrolling these next 3 games. It's pretty much going to be on you to not drop points almost, to maintain it.
Yeah, you got a fair point. Look, I'm not going to... I think I was here, the other day, a few days ago, when we lost to West Ham, and I said, and the same question, are you getting top 4? I said 100%. I'm not going to backtrack and say no now, all of a sudden, because the narrative... It's the narrative. The narrative for Man United, it's been the same thing all season. Your away form is hot garbage, but I like to flip the same situation when Man United play at home, because it wasn't too long ago where we was at home, Everton, Leicester, Brentford, and we played good football. And that's what I expect again, because we got, the 3rd best home league form in the whole league, and we played less games than the 2 above us, which is Man City and I believe Liverpool, I believe. No, I think you're above us, to be fair, now. And in the bottom 3 is Wolverhampton with Nottingham Forest, who play obviously Chelsea today. So that's why I'm confident. And I know the new news has come out. No Rashford, obviously he's going to be out for at least a week. But Varane's back in, and a recognised centre back who is much better than what we've got at the moment. Maybe you might see the return of Luke Shaw to left back. I haven't really seen the lineup. Someone's going to have to remind me in the comments potentially.
The lineups right now. As we just said, they're massive for Leeds to come away with a point. Very sloppy, the 2 penalties they gave away, Tom. Wilson, cool as ice, slots them both away. Yeah. But if you're Leeds, I mean, you can look at it two ways. If you're Newcastle, you've dropped points. If you're Leeds, you're ruining the fact that you were 1-0 up and you missed the penalty.
But then you would say Junior Firpo, that red card might well have saved them a point, and that point might just keep them up.
It's a good point. Literally.
You have to say Newcastle, one of the top 4 teams in the league for a reason, and they've managed to get a point. You just never know. I'm not sure what their final 2 fixtures actually are, but that point could be very, very crucial come 2 weeks' time, I guess. So, yeah, I mean, I think against Newcastle, albeit at home,
West Ham and Tottenham. West Ham away, Tottenham at home will be
tough games, but 2 teams that are lower than Newcastle this season. So you would have to say, given the situation they were in, the red card, the equaliser. The equaliser was a little bit lucky, but big deflection. But that point might just keep them up. And I think if I were a Leeds fan, Big Sam Allardyce, you probably just got to think like that, really, I would say.
And that's the crazy thing down there in the relegation strap. You've got Sam Allardyce at Leeds, you've got Sean Dyche at Everton, Stevie Coops has been kept on, David Moyes has been kept on at West Ham. So it's almost like every team there is kind of relying on, go on, get us out of this one, you can do it type of thing. And
I don't know if Brexit football, basically.
I don't know if it's just too little, too late for Leeds. 4 games, kind of. Yeah. I'm looking at between them and Everton. I don't know who's got the more gusto.
Who's got who? That's what I want to know. Who's got who?
So Leeds obviously have West Ham away and Tottenham at home, and then Everton have Man City tomorrow.
It's a tough game still for City.
Wolves away next week.
That'll be difficult.
Bournemouth at home on the final week. Now, the saving grace, I'll say, is similar to like you guys playing Wolves today. Is Wolves have kind of hit that 40-point mark now, where it's kind of safety's there. Do we kind of go into holiday mode? So it could be playing them at the right time for both you and Everton, but you kind of have to take that advantage, I feel like, and set the tempo.
They're also playing. I heard Wolves are playing someone is making a debut for Wolves today, apparently, as well. If someone can confirm
we will get into the lineups, but let us know what your thoughts were on that Leeds Newcastle game. A red card for Firpo at the end. Let's get into the lineups then. Aston Villa at home to Tottenham. Massive game. Well, is it though? Because Villa are obviously cruising in 8th. They could go up to 7th or joint 6th with Tottenham today. So yes, I will track that. That is a big game.
It's a Europa League kind of 6-point. I think if typically the Spurs players now are probably going to try and play with a lot of gusto in the last 3 games when there's really nothing on the line.
Are you looking for a deal for gusto here? Or?
Huh?
You said it twice.
I said it twice, haven't I?
I'll be talking about Malo Gusto.
You got him, mate. Send him a DM.
I wanted him at right back.
What was he talking about before we went there?
We've already got Malo Gusto, mate.
But no, it's a 6-point. I feel like for Villa, if they can win this, it will kind of almost cement them a European spot, overtake us. And to be honest, I think they kind of deserve it. The way they finished the second half of the season, the way Unai's come in since before the World Cup, I think he had that kind of World Cup break to kind of really settle in, maybe work with a few of the players. But second half of the season, they've come out singing a complete different tune. And the way we've been falling away the last couple of weeks, honestly, we deserve to almost finish the season without European football. If you haven't checked out the conversation we had with Abby, X and Tobes, where we kind of just break down not only this season, but what's kind of
the therapy session.
This point, pretty much, yeah.
Do you,
honestly, yeah. It was,
are you quite confident?
It was actually like a really good conversation, and I just feel like this season, if we finish without European football, no Spurs fan can sit there being surprised. Even though, had you looked at the start of the season, a lot of Spurs fans would have told you they won the transfer window. A lot of pundits as well would have had us in the top 3, let alone 4.
Yeah.
Well, you did start off the season really well, to be fair.
We're saying best starting, but if you ask any Spurs fan, look over the surface and beyond the kind of plastered over cracks, everyone could tell you that at some point we could all see it. If Conte's deal wasn't sorted out and if the signings didn't come in January, things would go left. But let's have a look at the lineup today.
Will this team be good enough to take them to that European spot in the Europa League? Emi Martinez in goal for the home team, Young, Konza, Mins and Moreno, Bailey, McGinn, Douglas Luiz, Jacob Ramsey and Buendia, and of course Ollie Watkins up front. A strong bench as well there for Villa, including Cash, Traore, Still no Coutinho on that bench, but Dendoncker, Dean, Kamara and all these guys are there. For Tottenham though, Forster in goal pretty much confirms that Lloris maybe never plays for Tottenham again now. Emerson Royal, Romero and Longley as part of a back five with Porro and Davis on the wing, Skip and Højbjerg in the middle with Son, Richarlison and Kane up front. How do you react to that one, Fuad?
Not bad.
Bit of a weird one. Seeing Emerson possibly slot into a back three, but then could that kind of play to his with his? He lacks the attacking game, but he can kind of still defend. So maybe it might work for him. Ben Davis at left wing back as well is another interesting one as well, having played left centre back.
Is it about Ryan Mason trusting what can happen though with the team, because he's if you've not noticed, he does switch things in game, which you have to give him a bit of credit for. And Davies might be the trusted guy on the left because Perisic might be a little bit more reckless.
Thinking about it, I don't even think it is going to be Davis at left wing back. Do you know what I think he's going to do? Emerson Royal at left wing back. I remember when he came on as a sub in the last couple of games, he'd done that where he put him at left wing back. So it wouldn't surprise me if I saw him at left wing back and then Pedro Porro at right wing back. But other than that, it's pretty much been the same similar lineup we've had all season. Okay,
let's look at Chelsea at home to Forest today. Mendy in goal.
Yeah, big change.
Kepa dropped.
Surprising that.
On the bench he is Chalobah, Thiago Silva, Badiashile and Hall at left back.
Love to see it.
I like a single minute since he kind of made that initial breakthrough, did he?
Liverpool, Anfield,
Do you know, he didn't have the worst game, but I think the occasion maybe got the best of him.
I think the intensity was too much for him at that point. 60th minute, he gassed out. He couldn't do no more.
He had to go off. Fernandes and Gallagher with Kovacic in the midfield. Madueke, Felix and Sterling up front. Listen to this bench as well. Kepa, Pulisic, Loftus-Cheek, Mudryk, Ziyech, Fofana, Aspilicueta, Havertz and the other Fofana.
Wow, Havertz has dropped finally. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's a funny one because the goalkeeping change I don't think anybody predicted. Maybe Kepa's got a little injury, but I haven't seen anything on that. Kante out for 2 weeks, which is
shocking.
A shame. I think problem with his groin. So that's not great, but I mean, Frank promised that we would be seeing some youngsters. Now we've got survival sorted, and Lewis Hall, great to see him in again. I think he's proven in his chances this season that he has what it takes, I think, to get to the top at Chelsea. But then we've got so many players on the left. We've got Ian Maatsen to come back from Burnley, as well as Chilwell, Cucurella. So we'll have to see what happens. But it's just nice to go into a game on 42 points rather than on 39.
Very true. Yeah, Navas in goal, Worrell, Felipe and Niakate at the back. Aurier and Lodi make up the wing backs with Mangala and Danilo, with Yates, Gibbs, White and Awani up front. And again, a fairly strong bench as well. You've got Lingard, Surridge, Johnson. I'm not sure why he's not starting this one. Kouyaté, Ayew, Bowley as well, and Freuler. Crystal Palace, Bournemouth. Johnston in goal, Ward, Anderson, Guehi, Mitchell, Eze, Doucouré and Will Hughes getting a start today for Palace. Elise, Jordan Ayew and Zaha up front. For the away team, Neto, Kelly, Zabarini, Meffam, Vigna, Rothwell, Lerma, Utara, Billing and Christian, Dominic Solanke up front. I'll ask you for all of your predictions for these games after we get into the Manchester United lineup now. David De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Varane and Shaw at the back. Happy with that?
Yeah, I'd say so. 100%. You can't fault that.
Casemiro, Ericsson, Anthony, Bruno, Sancho and Martial starts up front. No place for Weghorst there.
Don't even get me started on that guy. It's our best available 11, I'd say. I think Ericsson at home makes sense. I can't see anybody else that would come in. I'm not really a fan of Delo either. I think Wolves Wolves might play a 4-4-2, bank it in, play on the break, use the pace. Cunha's in good form as well, can't deny that. Wolves you just don't know what Wolves is going to turn up. Ruben Neves' customary banger against Man United from about 40 yards out, probably. I'm surprised that De Gea's stayed in the net, but is what it is. I would have dropped. Personally, I would have dropped him. I would have been done with him, but I'm not the manager.
And then for Wolves, it's Bentley in goal. Maybe that's the change that we've not heard of before. The goalkeeper coming in for Rui Patricio. Well, no, Jose Sarr. Nelson, Semedo, Dawson, Kilman and Gomez at the back. Mateus Nunez on the right, with Neves, Lemina and Neto on the left, and Mateus Cunha and Diego Costa up front for Wolves.
Left back? Who's Gomez? Is he? I
think the new guy is Daniel Bent.
I thought Ainori would have played.
No, not staying.
He's injured. Yeah, it's Totti, but on this they've called him Gomez.
BBC love to use the full names for the Brazilians.
Other broadcasters are available. Let's see the final lineup then. Southampton, Fulham. Southampton all but down, really. Take an absolute miracle. They'd have to win every single game to stand any chance, but they face Fulham today. McCarthy in goal for the Saints. Maitland-Niles, Bednarek, Lianco and Walker-Peters. On paper, that team just shouldn't be bottom of the league, personally, but there you go.
I think he's overrated.
Maitland-Niles, though, Bednarek's a decent player as well.
Bednarek's no good.
I mean,
he's no, you know.
I hear what you mean. He's not terrible. He's not mid-table.
You know. What does that mean these days?
Yeah.
You know. Stuart Armstrong, Ward-Prowse, Lavia, and Onuachu in the midfield with Alcaraz and Walcott.
When Onuachu signed as a forward.
Yeah, well, he's playing left wing
Armstrong
today
as well.
Yeah, the other Armstrong on the bench.
Which Armstrong
on the bench?
Stuart Armstrong.
He can play anywhere though, can't he?
Workhorse. For Fulham, Leno, Tete, Tosin, Diop, Robinson at the back, João Palhinha. What a season he's had! Incredible numbers in terms of tackles and interceptions. Reed joins him. Harry Wilson, Tom Kearney, who scored 2 in the last game against Leicester, the captain of the club, by the way. Willian, and then it's Vinicius, Carlos Vinicius up front. Mitrovic back on the bench, boys.
Yeah.
This one.
How many?
Launch.
Yeah.
After the suspension, right?
How long was the suspension? How many games?
8 games.
Yeah, I think that was unfair. But whatever.
Is there an argument to say that Fulham maybe could be in a higher place if he was still around? But I guess it was his fault. Right, prediction time. 9 minutes away from the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Aston Villa versus Tottenham, and then I'm going to jump into the comments because I know they're popping off. Score predictions for that one.
I'm going to go 2-1 Villa.
I'm going to say, you know what? No, 2-2. I think Tottenham concede early, and then 2-2.
1-0 to the Villains.
1-0.
Party villain.
I like 2-2.
Yeah,
I like that. I'm going to go with that as well. Let us know what you think in the comments. Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest. I'll start this one off. Forest fighting for their lives. Chelsea in cruise mode going. They're just driving in neutral at this stage. They've got out of the reverse gear and they're in neutral finally. Big win at Bournemouth last week. But I'm actually going to go for a Forest 2-1 win.
You're reading my mind today or something. Damn.
Not that time of the season. It's silly season scores. And we're seeing it. 5-3 the other night.
1-1 draw, I'll go. I think Forest will take that. They'll say, going away to Stamford Bridge, but then I think Chelsea will kind of score a goal just to kind of give their fans something to celebrate, you know. Like their goal of the month for this month.
I'd go for a 1-1 as well, considering Forest are bad away, and I know they're fighting for their spot, but Chelsea, you got to respect the defence a little bit. It's not that bad.
No, better than yours, I think.
Anything's better than our defence, mate.
For me, I would probably have to say 1-1 or 0-0. I think a Forest win, I'm not sure that that's silly season after the season we've had. I think it's probably just what we've come to expect as Chelsea fans, just garbage. But no, I think we're going to overperform today, get a point. Forest won once away from home all season. Just read
that's
that.
That's the issue,
Yeah, home form shocking.
Home form good, but
home form good, away form
home form good, away form shocking. And that's what they say about the teams down there. Make sure your home form's good. And it has been. Will it be enough, though? Palace, Bournemouth.
Palace win.
I'm going to go 2-1 Palace.
Come on, the Eagles. I'm gonna go 3. I'm gonna go 3-0.
3-0.
Yeah, I think Eze's gonna have a great game.
Good on Roy Hodgson.
We'll come back to this if that's true. And get you credit. Score.
2-1 Palace. I think 2-2 draw. I think Bournemouth got some life in them, man. I feel like they're trying to sign out the season on a high as well.
Yeah,
and they've been playing well these last couple of games against
the
teams
teams
Bournemouth around them. They've been
since we got them next week.
Those 6-pointers, if you like. So
I suppose Bournemouth 2-2. You know, they've done brilliantly to get to 14th, considering where they were. Away win for them today?
No, I'd say credit to both clubs that this game doesn't mean anything. Neither club fighting. They've both achieved their goals for the season. 3-3.
Well, there's an interesting one. If
it's a silly season,
if Palace win all their remaining 3 games, they can go for their total record in the Premier League in total points.
49, that would be.
Yeah.
That would be an achievement.
That would have been an achievement for Palace, considering the stale start that they've had with no goals scored and stuff like that.
Man United Wolves 6 minutes away from kickoff. What's the score going to be at Old Trafford?
Fuad.
Man United Wolves. It's a tough one to call, man, but I think Wolves are safe now, so I think this might be the game where they coast, but United will make it hard for themselves. So I will go 2-1.
I'll go 2-1 United as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Obviously, I want to see a Wolves win, but, you know, I think United...
Be a perfect weekend for you then, wouldn't it?
Well,
United need to get two
see what happens Monday
straight
night.
away. Yeah.
True, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 4-0 to United.
I love you, boy. I come on, Tom. That's the one.
Well,
That's
is this
the one.
the first time that Cass actually wins a game on DR Sports?
Same
He's
for me
celebrating
as well.
like Dan Lawless.
Never had a Chelsea win on
It's the double
DR.
jinx today. Damn. DJ.
I'm going to go 2-0. 2-0 Man United.
2-0 United. Southampton, Fulham. I will go 3-1 Fulham.
4-1.
Fulham.
Fulham 4-1.
Saints are looking well down.
I'm going 1-1 draw.
Really?
I don't know why.
You got a low scoring in a lot of your games.
Look, I can't
Silly
see.
season though, man.
It's Fulham right now are in holiday mode, I feel like,
Yeah.
and they've been even losing games at home. Southampton could spring a surprise, I think, in this one.
Would be
And
interesting.
Maybe
It's
get a
lost
win,
chance
in
saloon for them,
Yeah.
innit?
So they're not officially
Because if they lose
relegated.
today,
then?
it's official relegation, isn't it?
I mean, it's their
I
last
think
chance.
they have to lose 2.
Okay.
It's official.
I don't know. Maybe
Very
maybe
hard.
they could spring a surprise today. I'm thinking, but I'll go 1-1 draw.
How many points are they on? 27?
24.
way behind.
Southampton.
24.
24.
Oh, they're gone. They're gone anyways.
And I think it would be technically impossible for them to get out if they lost the next 2 for sure. Not looking good if you're a Saints fan. Let's jump into the comments for a few minutes before the kickoffs. Let's go right up to the top. Oh man, Cass is going to jinx it for United again.
All you guys in the comments, I love you guys, man.
Cass here to judge us again. Cass is the most deluded United fan, along with the only one. Rant, says Rosie. Let's get some nice comments coming
Big up
in
rants,
as well,
man.
please, guys.
Big up rants.
Yeah. Big up everyone. We were a little bit late. We do apologise for that. Good day, AGT. You never walk alone, says Ali Ali. Liverpool fan, it's my 19th birthday today. Newcastle drawing wasn't really a good present, says the Reaction Prince. Big up to you. Happy birthday, my friend. Let's go Spurs, says Chess Maniac. AFTV says, I know Cass hates it here. Big
I love
up
it
Mr.
here.
Jinxie.
I love it here. Why would I not like it?
Well, just because you never see your team win. But there you go. Mohammed A says, imagine United bottle top 4 and City win the treble, with the super chat there.
I'm sure it's a imagine thing anymore. I think it's a when not if.
Yeah, potentially. Big
Sadly.
Fat Toss says, Cass, let's go. Keep jinxing it, my G. Violent says, Trashford. Obviously, Real Madrid
Some people
fan.
call him Purple Patchford
Yeah.
these days.
How many pens has Bumford missed this season, says Charanko. Have we got an official number on that?
I know he missed one. He
It's a couple.
come off social media because he was getting slaughtered for
That's
that. Was it the one against
That's
Arsenal?
not good, though.
No, not
Potentially.
I think it was.
Not gonna lie, that was one of the best shows. Fuad, Abby X and Tobes have some mad chemistry. They should do a pod together, says Jamal. Go and watch that if you haven't already, by the way, as we just mentioned earlier. Vlad says, what happened to Mendy? I mean, he gets back in the team today, but he was the favourite really under
He was.
Tuchel
Lampard.
and Lampard as well. And now it's kind of switching back. is it?
I think he's had surgery the last few months, been out with injury, bit out of favour, and I think the club wanted to invest in Kepa this season, just see if they could get some form into him, particularly with it being difficult. Potter liked him with the ball at the feet, which Mendy isn't quite so good at. So for me personally, good to see him back. I really like Edouard Mendy. Got a really, really cool backstory. Story of a guy who was unemployed, I think, 3 years before he joined Chelsea.
Yeah,
So
incredible story.
big up Edouard Mendy. Really glad to see him in goal today.
Tina says, Fuad, since Lloris is on the way out, who should be the next Spurs keeper? And when will the Glazers sell, or will they not sell? Kind of two different topics there, but we'll attack the first one. I heard you're interested in our boy, Queevy and Kelleher.
To be fair,
number two.
I
Decent
actually,
keeper.
I think he's got decent potential, but
mate,
I don't know. I think it
love
might
it.
be big shoes to fill, possibly. I think David Raya is for me. I think
United
that-
want him though as well.
40 million
away.
quoted now, not 20 million.
I think United
Don't
are
want him
going to
for 4
have
million.
this summer going to be fighting the
That's what it costs.
DDG
Rather get
Henderson
better
deal.
keeper for more money than. Sorry.
Okay. What did you not say? I was trying to catch it. Then.
Oh no, sorry. The quoted price for David Raya is 40 million. He said, "Oh, but it's decent price." I said, "I'd rather just go spend an extra 20 million on another keeper. That's a bit better than."
Who?
I think Diogo Costa's a better goalkeeper than him, for sure. Manyan's going to cost about 70 million. If you're going to go all out for a keeper, might as well go spend a little bit extra.
The same names that you're looking at as well.
No,
And
not
us
really.
too.
Me is David Raya, and there's a Anderlecht goalkeeper, Dutch one.
Bert Van,
Yeah.
Man United are also looking at him as well.
I've been watching him closely the last few months.
Nice feeling to know you got the best.
Got very good stats. to be fair.
Listen, the thing is Spurs aren't in a position where they can go out there and cherry pick goalkeepers, if you like. I think last summer as well, I remember I was saying, look, Onana's there available on a free, but as soon as Inter came, he had no choice. The year before that, Manyan, I was saying, there's keepers available, but until they go and sign for another big top club, people won't rate a lot of these youngsters around Europe. And then it'll be like when they see them in the Champions League and Onana pulls off a wicked semi-final, people are like, oh, how did Inter get a free run to him? It's like because everybody was looking at him and saying, oh, he's got an 8-month doping ban and he's got a bozo mistake. So now you're left in a situation where Lloris is leaving at the end of the season. You've got no backup plan. Everything you've tried over the last couple of years has failed. So for me, go and sign young, someone with potential who you can grow. Do you know who I thought a few months ago, maybe like 6 months ago, Melier? I was thinking, I saw shades of a young Lloris, I'll say. Kind of skinny frame, good reflex, shot stopper.
Maybe. Early days.
But then I swear to you, the last 6 months, everything that's bad about Lloris and De Gea, you saw it in a nutshell. He pretty much single-handedly, I feel like, over the last 7-8 weeks, has at times put Leeds in the relegation zone. And I'm like, we need to stay far away from you. But it's a shame. Things can go, life of a goalkeeper's like that as well. 6 months, you can be the star boy coming up. Next thing, you make a couple of mistakes. Mendy and Kepa, you've got two examples there.
Robert Sanchez might be available as well for you. I think I saw as well, Robert Sanchez, because it's like the Zerbi prefers still in goal. I think Robert Sanchez is actually...
Exactly.
I think Robert Sanchez is better
Sanchez
goalkeeper.
ain't good enough for Brighton. He ain't going to be good enough for Spurs.
We
need to stay away from that.
But
you're in a good position though,
Stay away from that.
Spending big bucks on young keepers is a big risk. You know, Kepa Arrizabalaga, we can't move him on. He's on a huge wage. We spent too much on him. Big money on keepers. I know that Maignan is rated. Alisson was the one, but he'd obviously had a lot more experience than Kepa at that time. I think he was a bit older as well. Maybe I'm wrong.
Kepa was a release clause, man.
So Alisson was only... No, he's kind of young. Alisson's only like 30 years old, right? He came about
Kepa's
what?
younger than
He
that,
came same time as Van Dijk, right? Yeah, he was pretty young, to be fair.
But
What a guy.
Chelsea also in the market for goalkeepers.
Scores goals, gets you assists. What a guy. Anyway, 3 o'clock kickoffs have kicked off. Is there any early goals? Of course there isn't. But we are looking for a very, very entertaining show today. Please make sure you get your comments in. And we will let you know which goals go in and when they go in on the Saturday Football Show. Not just from the Premier League, every single league. Also today, Notts County at Wembley taking on Chesterfield in the League 2 playoff as well. Massive game for the oldest league club in the world.
Yeah, not in the league.
Everyone likes to.
They love that line, innit?
Not
They
in the
did.
league anymore.
What's it? Juventus did get their black and white stripes from County though. That
They
is a
did.
fact.
Yeah.
They had to borrow a kit.
A lot of clubs are, to be fair,
friendly.
stolen. It's like Barcelona.
Crystal Palace.
Wasn't it Basel?
Something like that.
You know,
That's
what
why they've got the
surprised?
Swiss flag in their logo or something like that.
Yes.
I don't know. There's some history there. Basel and Barcelona. I remember that. Yeah, but there's plenty of clubs around Europe. You look at their history. They've all stolen kits, and it was all borrowed kits. Juve might have come over for a friendly and then borrowed kits. It's a lot of interesting stories.
Funny one though on Notts County. Imagine getting 107 points in a league season and not getting promoted.
Hey, the game is the game.
How crazy would that be? They had that game with Wrexham that decided who would go up. Saw them all on the tubes going over to Wembley on my way over to the studios, and a bit of a local derby. They were saying to me, obviously.
It's almost like literally old tradition versus new money, isn't it? That Wrexham versus Notts County, but hey, new money comes out on top. You know what I'm saying?
It did, yeah, it did.
Absolutely. All right, as we know, the 3 o'clock games have kicked off. Just a little note to production. Can we get the TV show on, please, that we watch our 3 o'clock games on, please? All legal and above board, obviously. But just a little reminder to production to get that on, because obviously we need to give you the results and the goals as they go in. AFTV asked, Fuad, who should be your next manager? Which leads me on to this topic. Ryan Mason has officially thrown his hat into the ring. We do have, I don't know who's the first person to notice, but we do have Jason Tingle, the mad dog.
I just saw that and I said, oh, what is that in the background? Who's that grinning? I see Jason Tyndall. I said, nah.
It gets everywhere, this guy.
I can't lie to you, though. That has been the best thing. Sorry, I know you want to get onto this manager stuff. That has been the best thing to come on the internet this week. I don't know who made that niche account, but to say, listen, this Jason Tyndall guy is everywhere. And the worst thing is he's been documenting it for months now. If you scroll down, I'm like, yo, it goes back to their playing days. Every picture of Eddie Howe, Tyndall's right there in the corner.
Unbelievable.
Grinning teeth. I love it,
when
man.
he goes to shake someone's hand and they go past him and go to Rogers first, and he's like, what about
But
me?
did you see, even Eddie Howe looked at like, oh shit, he's oh my god, I'm gonna have words. Yeah. But, listen, it makes you question, if Eddie Howe's getting all the praise, who's really doing the dirty work behind the scenes? You know what I'm saying? It makes you think. Yeah. Listen, good cop, bad cop, it's easy to be the good cop, I always say.
Yeah. Well, it seems to be a good pairing at the moment, to be fair.
Yeah.
So
well, but they've been
everywhere they've gone
since the Bournemouth days in 2011, 2012. So they're like best mates as well, and that's how they work. So fair play.
Nah,
but he is joining us, and if you did notice that,
on Tyndall.
If you did notice that at the start of the show, well done to you. If I ever see you, I'll buy you a sandwich. We'll go through and look who was there.
Hamsik Armino, he was the one who
that put you on. There you go, it's all Tyndall. Right, we're talking about Tottenham goalkeepers. They also need a new manager, or do they, in the summer? Could Ryan Mason be the permanent manager? He's officially thrown his hat in the ring after sources suggest by Fabrizio Romano that there is no advance in negotiations with Julian Nagelsmann. He's taken his hat out of the ring, and that's allowed Mason to really put his one in. And he says, I've always said I'm ready for the moment. It sounds like a song. I feel I can help the club. I believe in the club. I believe that there's many people here that want to make it right. What do you make of that? First and foremost, the Nagelsmann news, and now this news of your manager, your temporary manager, saying, give me the job, I'm here, I'm ready, let's go, I care.
First of all, just put Mason to the side, because there's no need to even discuss that really and truly. You have no experience, you have no, purely based on passion and a few fist pumps. You're not tricking me. I've just seen the car crash that Lampard is at Chelsea, and you think we want to go and take the same gamble. Any fans lying to themselves about, oh, it's in-house, or I don't trust the board to go and get another manager. No, I'm sorry, you have to go and get a manager. And the Nagelsmann situation, I've been saying the entire time we've been linked with Nagelsmann, it's the ultimate dream for Spurs fans, but is it a reality?
There's been a goal at Villa Park just as we're talking about Tottenham. They go 1-0 down, and it's Jacob Ramsey.
I did say this.
Under Ryan Mason. Maybe this proves Fuad's point as he's talking about it live.
Great young player.
It just goes to show you the situation. The amount of games now where we have to go down 1-0 early on before we see anything is just pathetic. I mean, the goal's just coming up here as well. But for me, the Nagelsmann situation is just a PR spin. I think Nagelsmann, all this time, they've been fluffing the papers saying, oh, he's interested and we're his preferred choice. And that guy's got Chelsea and Madrid potentially interested in him. So I think he's looking at either those two options before he can even consider the mess that is us. He's rejected us, is what I reckon. And the PR spin is, you know what, we were never interested anyway. Of course you want to make it look like...
You're butters anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Dead, man. I didn't even want to chat to you anyway. Of course you didn't, bro. But when you say, yo, babe, you're my size. Come on, man. Listen, so now it's a case of, it's the PR flip. And what are they going to do? They're going to try and pull on the heartstrings of, one of our local, one of our own. It's like, come on, man, give it a rest.
Talk us through this Jacob Ramsey goal, Fuad, for those watching at home.
I see someone at left back basically got the shimmy shuffle one time and then it got whipped in near post. Easy, Jacob Ramsey. I mean... It's kind of the type of goals we've been seeing us concede all season. If you look at Newcastle, they scored 2 goals like that. Last week against Liverpool, we conceded a goal similar like that. Just go down the byline, beat the wing back. You're in acres of space. You're always going to see Dyer or Romero getting stretched, get cooked, and it's easy as you like, man. And that comes from, for me, coaching setup. That comes from me, structure. That comes from me, shape. and players as well. These guys, I'm sorry, are not good.
Do you think it's a bit disrespectful from Ryan Mason to be throwing his name in the hat as well?
No.
Like in a way,
believe in your source.
Gotta try.
It's the classical thing of I've got a bit of tune out of the players in the second half of 2 games where one of them we lost and the other one we drew. So why not try and use that as momentum to throw my name in the ring? I don't blame him. Of course, anybody who's a Tottenham fan, if you like, would love to be the Tottenham manager. He's probably in the best position to try and put himself in that ring. But are you actually qualified for it? Are you actually good enough to do it? Do you feel like if you got the job, you could truly succeed and take this club to where it needs to be? If I sat in a room with Ryan Mason and he said yes to all those things, I would go get him scanned for CTE again.
Wow. Well, just to defend him a little bit, is there a chance with the names De Zerbi, Nagelsmann, Arteta, these are all young up-and-coming managers that have all made their name somewhere, but is there a chance for him to start here, or you give him the job, let him see how it goes? Because there could be an opportunity. I mean, going into find the new manager, there could be a situation that you find where actually none of the big ones that you want actually want to come.
I tweeted it yesterday.
So do you go put all your chips and belief in Ryan Mason and just give him a shot, see how he gets on?
So on blind faith, we just go, okay, Mason, we'll trust you. Here's the Make-A-Wish Foundation choice. No, please, like, this isn't a charity case. Like, we're actually, if we actually want to be a serious club, especially, what is that? We've been competing top 4 for the past how long? That's a
the slight AGT digs, you know.
That's poor.
Low blow.
That's poor, bro.
I didn't say that. I was trying in my head.
Nah, he's mocking it. Personally,
I've been going through the ringer for the past week or so, bro. It's like
enough times.
But the thing is,
he's an Arsenal fan. If you wanted to know the production, go on, Ryan.
No, but the thing is, the past however many seasons we've been in the Champions League regularly, we've been in European positions. So if you want to go and take a year out or whatever, go and take a year out and actually go and restructure yourself, reset the club. Yeah. If you're going to do that by resetting with Ryan Mason, and more than likely, I'm not joking with you, it probably is what's going to happen. Ryan Mason will probably get the job permanently, I reckon.
So
after.
It's not mad to
listen, and the reason why I say it is because I saw the same situation 2 summers ago where we tried to get Conte, the kind of Nagelsmann, what we're trying to do. We failed. We went through a 40-man managerial candidacy. We ended up with Nuno and being like, all right, well, I guess we'll take Jose without the credentials and any kind of swagger. Okay, for 3 months that didn't work out, and then what did we do? Oh, Conte, hat in hand, we'll give you everything, I promise. So more than likely, Mason will get the job now for about 3 months, be allowed to drown till November before we go back hat in hand to Nagelsmann, begging him, listen, we'll give you everything. We'll sell you everything, and all the dreams you want, we'll bring it to you.
You can have a limited go-kart rides around the track.
It won't happen.
That sounds great.
Get front row at Beyonce.
Bring your skateboard,
that sounds even better.
You can go around the go-kart with that. Nah, man, give it a rest.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy to know what names.
He's put his hat in the ring.
I think
cheeky.
I do wonder I don't think they're going to get De Zerbi. I don't think De Zerbi's going to be interested personally.
De Zerbi's got interest from Italy, and then if he doesn't go Italy, in my opinion, he's a fool if he even leaves Brighton, because you've got a young talent, a great board.
Stay there for another year.
European club.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense leaving that situation. I think
Brendan Rodgers.
we need to go target Amorim at Sporting Lisbon. He's someone who I've liked all season, and what he's done at Sporting, lost big players every year, developed players. I think the only issue is he still does play in a back 5, so I don't know if Spurs fans still want to see that, but with the players we have, we might be forced into that.
There has been a goal, sorry to interrupt you, and it's gone to Nottingham Forest at Stamford Bridge. It's happening again for Tom. Team are losing, and the goal for the away team, again, fighting for their lives. As I predicted, this would be 2-1. Of course, there's a long way to go. But it's a great start for Forest, and it's the man I questioned for starting up front. It's Taiwo Awoniyi, the former Liverpool.
Nah. How you feeling, Tom?
We're up, mate.
It's a goal for Forest.
You called this
Chelsea
pretty much.
We're staying up. We're staying up.
The magic 40 points.
I'm not going to cry, all right? I'm not going to cry. We're staying up. We're staying up. But another continuation of our horrendous home form this season. I mean, still the DR Sports jinx for me. Still losing games.
Don't worry, your name isn't Cass. You ain't going to get put in the comments.
Well, I will always take the small victories, my friend. But
That's a great
Have a look
tackle.
at the goal.
looks to me
Tom.
like a
Talk to me
continuation
about
of.
this.
Brennan
Toney with the
Lodi.
cross.
Oh, Mendy mistake
Mendy,
in it.
yeah.
2 defenders and the goalkeeper. All
But
beaten by one
Mendy's
man.
there. Mendy's there in no man's land, and you've got 2 centre backs that can't beat Awani to the ball. There,
He's a good striker. It's unfortunately, he got injured in the start of the season.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, more mids of the season, I'd say. But
for
Danilo
me-
stepped up as well.
But for me, what that goal screams out to me is just the team is unsettled, and when you can't defend a ball lumped into the box like that, you've got to question. There will be no chemistry between Badiashile, Silva, and Mendy because they've never played together, and it's just a really.
To be fair, the ball is that good. It lands right in between
It's a good
Thiago
ball.
Silva and Badiashile. If you watch here, right in between them.
Literally.
So
You would
he's
expect
got
them to
he's
deal
got to
with
go
it,
for it.
literally. You
The
would
keeper
expect
has
them-
to go for it.
The
but
Bermuda Triangle.
You almost want to give Awani the credit there because he's the one that's put his head where it could get hurt.
That's a pinpoint.
Why doesn't he
cross.
stay on
And
his
it's
line
a
though?
great cross, isn't it?
I thought so.
It's a great ball, but the keeper should stay on his line there.
Or
In
communicate
my
with your
opinion.
centre backs at least. Try
I
to
like
in the
our two
moments.
centre-backs, but I think it's just a lack of.
Listen, Thiago Silva's one of the best
Communication.
defenders that's ever played the game. I do think he's
Him and
that good.
Badiashile had a good partnership when he first came in.
They
Badiashile.
do.
Top 50 centre backs of all time.
It's
Easily.
still early.
Top 20,
30.
mate. Top 20.
Maybe top 30, but
Still,
let us know
still
what you
early.
think.
Still
It's
early for
early,
you
but
boys.
it's
Awful
just,
start then
it's just
for
another
Chelsea.
sign.
Doesn't fill you with confidence to go and get another 2 goals to win the game, does it?
It doesn't, but having said that, against Bournemouth, we conceded a fairly late equaliser and managed to win the game still. So it's just disappointing. I thought maybe the club, after getting to 40 points after the win against Bournemouth, maybe we'd sort of chance our arm a little bit, maybe play a bit better, just play some exciting football. But it looks to me like the same old, same old. And I was on a remote Scottish island last Saturday. We won. Back to London. And yet again, back to losing. So, same old, my friends.
Maybe ship you off to Scotland for the season.
Well, currently, would you say that's Nottingham Forest safe?
Yeah, mate, honestly, at the moment. But great goal for Forest.
Would you say the 36 points is enough for them for this season to stay up,
Maybe.
considering the other teams' fixtures?
Oof. I would say 1 or 2 more points more than that and they do it, yeah. But this is huge if they can win it. Let's go into the comments. Mr. X says, Cash chatting too soon, to be honest.
Yeah, of course. You know me.
Buffalo Soldier says, Mendy did a De Gea. James Rule says, Tom is Boris Johnson's love child.
Oh, bloody hell.
That's a new one.
It's insulting to Tom,
Well, I wear blue.
to be honest. Yeah. This is the Chelsea we expect to help us versus City, saying Hamsik. Biggest banter club in English football is Spurs, the Spud.
Yep.
Potato, says Zach David. The henchest player scored against Chelsea, says Zach. He is a very well built striker, is Awani. I can't lie, now that Chelsea are safe, I'd do some mad experiments, stuff till the end of the season if I was Frank. Can it get worse, says Hamsik.
Frank Lampard is
Not
an
now,
experiment.
no. Not
Literally.
now. We've got 3 more games.
It's like
4 more games.
Balenciaga's.
Yeah,
It's like a social
basically.
experiment. Chelsea in the mud, says Kingsman. De Zerbi has shut down interest about 5 times now. People need to accept it, says Arctic Temper. How are the lads, says this Newcastle fan. We can still do it. 2 home games next will be must-win games. And Conference League settings for the Spursy next season, says Pete. Mr. X also saying, I need Wolves to do something. You've got eyes on this game. How is it going for United at home so far?
Well, I can't watch it, obviously, but I'm just
course
waiting for the update of the scores to see what's going on. But it looks like Man United's got all of the ball. Apparently, Anthony should have squared it to Marcel for an easy tap in, decided to shoot, went around the post. But other than that, I think it's pretty much, I don't know, just pretty much all United. Diogo Costa's got a yellow card as well, shock.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Love the guy.
we'll see how it goes at the moment. The way it looks like, even just from the stats alone, it's like Wolves are not bothered. They're just happy to let Man United have the ball.
Got to get the goal then, mate.
Martial
Yeah.
up front as well. Is it maybe one of the last home games that he plays in a red shirt?
Don't know. I don't know. There's all this speculation with the new owners and budget and all this stuff, yada yada yada. I don't know. Might not be able to afford to let him go at this rate.
Unbelievable. Right, let's talk now about the Premier League worst 11 of the season, as voted on Instagram by you watching this video right now. this will be a good one. We've got a graphic of the DR Sports viewers' worst 11 of the season, people, right? This is savage. Let's get into it. We've got it here. Travers in goal. Bournemouth, is he?
Yeah.
Isn't that bad?
Fredericks for West Ham. Godfrey for Everton. Rob Holding in the middle with Kieran Tierney. 2 Arsenal defenders in this, people.
Tierney? That's
Flynn
a what?
Downs, Tom Davis, the Everton midfielder, obviously Flynn Downs at West Ham. Dennis Praet for Leicester. Lingard, the left wing forward, with Aubameyang and Mateta up front.
This makes no sense.
I'm going to open the floor on this.
That makes no sense. So I saw Tierney. I like Firpo exists. Downs is actually a decent player. Don't get me wrong, but there's been worse centre mids out there.
Sports viewers' opinion. That's what
Then DR Sports like viewers need to like fix themselves up.
out.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Still
That 11's
still
awful.
press like and comment.
Yeah, that's an awful. There's worse 11 out there. 100%.
Give me another one, Fuad, that would.
Cucurella.
Oh, that's a great shot.
Who's the Leicester City goalkeeper? The not
Ward.
Iverson,
Danny
Ward.
Ward.
There you
Danny
go.
Ward,
Worst
yeah.
goalkeeper this season.
I would have
Definitely.
Cucurella in there.
Yeah, Cucurella for me, I don't know how he escaped
Cucurella
that.
probably deserves to be in there.
He has been criminal this year for 62 million, and especially how good he was
doing
last
videos
year at
with
Brighton
young
as well.
Philly.
Has Davies even played this season, really?
Tom Davies, yeah.
I haven't seen him feature too much.
Aubameyang's not played. I just think it's harsh for Aubameyang because he's
No, but it does say with everybody on this has played 500 minutes minimum. So
still. I mean, I just think
It's enough.
Centre mid, Gallagher and Mount in there. Someone.
I don't think. I think that'd be unfair on those two, but there are.
Go further. You can go a bit further down. Maybe search into Southampton's squad. Surely, if they're bottom of the league, surely some of their players got to be in there.
Keeper.
I think Southampton, if you look at their squad, though, they're down there because they're inexperienced and young. Let's be honest. Like they're relying on Livramento, Lavia, Bazunu. These guys 2 years ago hadn't played a single minute of men's football, let alone save a team in the Premier League. And
I would have put Bazunu in there.
Like week in week out. I think Bazunu was like League One or something like that.
Yeah, I think Bazunu's actually a decent keeper. It's just that I don't think he's bad.
Keeping Kelleher out of the Island #1 spot.
How did Richarlison escape this?
That's a great
Oh,
shot.
there you go.
That's a good shout. Is Aubameyang
I'm just trying to be honest.
He definitely has in Europe.
Did he not start? Did he not score at the start of his career
I'll
at
be honest
Chelsea?
with you. Do you know who's another
can't
person
remember.
who's escaped this? Patrick Bamford.
Yeah.
What's he been this year?
Couldn't agree more.
Has he been worse than
Jamie
Aubameyang?
Weston McKennie, awful.
Jamie Vardy also had a very poor season.
I think he's only got one.
He's 36. He gets a slide.
Yeah, he's had 1 or 2 goals. And he was expected to keep Leicester up.
I don't know. Aubameyang's had a howler of a season.
I just don't think he's. I think he's been hard done by the club. Like on Aubameyang, Chelsea Football Club should take the blame, not the player.
Yeah, they-
I'll ask you this.
I'm defending him,
Maybe
but-
not worse, but a candidate. Would you say any of the Liverpool players this season?
I had to think about it for a second.
Because
But
their
then-
drop-offs have been
But
big.
bro,
this
they've
year.
not been worse than this. This is. Common.
Yeah, they haven't.
We've won 6 games in a row. That completely.
Fabinho's
takes
drop
away
off
anyone
isn't
that
as
should
bad
be.
as them players there. Some of them.
First half of the
Robbo's not been
season,
Yeah.
this year.
walking yellow card, mate.
But then
He's been
Cucurella's been
awful.
worse, I would say.
Yeah,
Cucurella's been very
This is
poor.
what-
Everybody
the bar
you
is
can
so
think-
low
yeah,
here
yeah,
that
yeah.
I can't drag any of my guys down to this
It's
bar.
true, it's true.
It's a good
Fabinho.
question, though.
Fabinho.
Not second
I
half of the
don't
season,
know.
though. We've won 6 games in a row, bro.
I mean, I haven't seen
I'm trying to get some mud on these Liverpool players, man.
Basuma's been
Basuma's
awful.
up there.
Basuma.
Yeah,
Bro,
I like Basuma as well.
Hey, Virgil's in the video.
looking in the comments.
Nah, listen, Fab and Virgil, I think if we're talking like worst 11s of the season,
Harry Maguire.
they can... From captain to...
Nah, he's not really been playing.
defend.
I'm putting Vegas in there. He's played enough games now.
Veghorst. Has he scored in the Prem?
No,
Oh my god.
He scored in Europe,
Veghorst.
didn't he?
Weghorst
Yeah,
is
and the cup.
the front two
and a
in my
cup as well.
eyes.
I
Carabao.
think you have a front 4, Richarlison, Aubameyang, Mateta, and the
No,
other
Vegas is worse than Mateta.
Yeah, I think
stunned you
Weghorst
not-
and Richarlison should be the front two.
I'm stunned that you're not going for some of those Chelsea attackers. I mean, I know that lots of people have been going
They've
for
been
Sterling.
bad, but have they been this bad?
Oh no, I
lots going
can't
for
lie. Kai
Sterling.
Havertz is shocking,
Lots
but I'd
going for
rather Kai
Havertz.
Havertz than Richarlison.
I think it's tough. I would say Havertz has actually scored some winning goals, scored a few goals. Richarlison hasn't even done that. So, but I would be probably now saying Sterling is in that conversation. Certainly.
No, Gallagher has to be in there, or Mount, one of them.
It's a great shame. I mean, I don't want to sit here and see Chelsea players and.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
He's a young player. I just don't think it's nice to put in a young player breaking through in a worst 11 of the season.
I mean, if you're watching, Flynn, I didn't vote for you to be in this team.
I didn't vote for Flynn. So
how did Eric Dyer also escape this?
Been better than some of them centre backs, I suppose. Some of them.
Bednarek?
None of them.
Bigging him up
None
earlier,
of them.
but
Who's the centre backs there?
Rob Holding.
Rob Holding and Godfrey.
That's a little bit harsh, I think.
No,
on Rob Holding.
Godfrey's been playing
Eric
left
Dyer
back more time than centre back.
A little bit harsh.
You could even look in towards maybe Nottingham Forest players as well. Look how many new players they've got. Some of the centre other than Felipe, their partner is the partner to it. Garbage.
Been on the bench a little bit.
I just feel like this is players that have kind of been memed a bit this season. I'm not sure.
Phillips.
Yeah, he could be the way. He ain't played enough minutes for me.
Well, he's Man City's player of the season. He's Man City's player of the season, mate. What are you saying?
No, the Liverpool fans hijacked it and gave it to. Who was it? Balotelli, I think, back in the season. Yeah,
I think it was Leeds fans that hijacked it.
Jadon Sancho.
Yeah,
that's a conversation, 100%.
Yeah,
I agree.
From chased for 2 years at Dortmund, Starboy came in last year, was given the year of adaptation. This season was meant to be kind of the second year. Maybe we see some improvements. Instead, he got sent to the mountains. Came back from the mountains. We still haven't seen that full version of Jadon Sancho, if you like. And I'm seeing Dennis Praet on my right wing. Who that? Who that?
Another
Leicester City's bench warmers belong in the worst 11. Come on, man.
For that right wing position.
Dennis Praet is a centre mid. I don't know why he's even on the right.
Who's that big, the Australian guy at centre back for them as well? Not the fake David Luiz. I know that's Wout Faes, but the other one.
Harry Souttar.
He came in January and I don't know, man.
He's bad.
Koulibaly certainly there would be a case of putting him in there. I don't like saying it about. I don't like saying it about Chelsea players. I hate doing it, but if I were to be honest? Impartial and honest, I'd probably have to say he certainly is in with a shout of getting into this 11.
Some Leicester players outside of Pride.
It's a lot of young players
Danny
there.
Ward.
Ricardo Pereira.
That's why I said Danny Ward has got to be the worst goalkeeper in the Premier League this season. Without a shadow of a doubt.
I think Meslier.
And maybe 2 years ago, he's linked with a lot of top clubs around Europe.
Hey.
But now I don't think anybody would sniff him. Wilfred Ndidi.
Yeah, he's garbage.
What the hell happened to him?
It's a good shout. Someone in the comments say
injury. His guy's always getting injured though. Every season he's got some sort of 1 or 2 injuries that he's out for spells.
They do suffer a lot of injuries.
3 years ago, I felt like he was almost like the prototype for defensive midfielders, if you like.
Yeah.
Similar to what Paulinho is at Fulham. Everyone's talking about how he breaks up the play. Yeah. He's got the most tackles, most interceptions. That was Wilfred Ndidi. He was supposed to play for that. But it just seems like, I don't know, he's just gone completely off a cliff. But I don't know whether it's injuries or whether it's just the Leicester team is just...
Probably collective as a club as well.
Collectively just dipped. I don't know.
Got to think that team's gone downhill. Pereira, how many injuries has that guy gone on? Does anyone even remember Ricardo Pereira?
But they replaced him with Castagna, I remember, and then he started.
Castagna was James Justin injuries.
James Justin, Luke Thomas as well.
Soyuncu has been out of favour.
He's off to Atletico Madrid.
I've seen.
Isn't he?
It'll be a good signing.
Don't know how he's got that. Yeah,
because when you think of Atletico, defensive Soyuncu,
if you think of Savic, they love those freebie type signings. They're a little bit like Juve.
Yeah.
Where they love a European freebie and
Caceres.
when they get him, because they got him on a free, they'll turn him into like this warrior.
I can tell you he's the worst right back in the league this year. Luke Ayling.
Scored today?
Don't care. Definitely worse. I don't know who's been worse.
He's not had the best year in the world, but...
I'd rather Emerson Royal than Luke Ayling, 100%.
I think that's a bit harsh on Fredericks as well, I'd say, like right back there.
Yeah, I didn't
not seen him.
Well, apparently he's played 500 minutes, so must have seen him at some point. Shout out to Matthew MAFC with the super chat. No comment, just the super chat. Love to see it. So yeah, that one will carry on in the comments. Let us know who is your worst 11 in the Premier League this season. Let's go back to the games in the Prem. Still 0-0 at Old Trafford. Manchester United have not found the net so far. Neither of Crystal Palace or Bournemouth or
It's a bit stale at the moment.
Fulham, a little bit stale, but Tottenham and Chelsea both behind as well. So let us know what you feel about that one. Let's move on to the Football Writers Award. I've got a graphic for you here. Players that have won the 22-23 Footballers of the Year votes. Erling Haaland at the top of the list, Saka and Odegaard up there as well with De Bruyne, Rashford in 5th, Harry Kane, Declan Rice, Casemiro, Mo Salah in 8th, which that's a talking point. Kieran Trippier, James Maddison, Granit Xhaka, Rodri, John Stones and Moises Caicedo.
Fair list.
Agree or disagree? Is that a fair list there? I mean, obviously we'd all agree, wouldn't we, that Haaland is the rightful winner. But top 5, do you think that's in the right order, boys?
It's not far off, is it?
I would replace James Maddison for Matoma.
Yes. Maddison shouldn't be in there, in my opinion. Yeah, Kane should be in there. Kane should be in there.
Kane is there, but I think
deserves to be under
top
Kane,
5,
maybe.
Salah deserves to be a bit further down for me.
Down.
Yeah. I know he's got all these goals, but not footballers' writers' votes, whatever it is.
30
I
goals.
think Kieran Trippier.
30 goals, no good for you, no?
I think Kieran Trippier deserves a bit more respect.
Yep. There's no defenders.
Salah.
This season.
But give me your actual reasonings. You say he deserves to be
because
lower.
I get stats are stats, right? But when we actually look at the gaming performances, Mo Salah hasn't wowed me this year in terms of a lot of the games,
Not
especially
in the 7-0.
No, but then you can talk about them. Why is Marcus Rashford there? He was also in that 7-0, wasn't he? So
Well, I think Salah should be where Declan Rice is. Or maybe even higher than Rashford.
Nah, not for me. Not this season. Mo Salah, don't get me wrong, he's a class player, world class player.
This season, though.
Class player, but I've seen performances where it's not it, and it hasn't been it until recent times.
I could say that about Rashford as well.
Yeah, but Rashford was scoring game in, game out, game in, game out.
Salah is now.
Salah is now doing it, but towards the end of the season, not throughout the season. When throughout the season, Xhaka's been great throughout the season. Rodri is just obviously he's just a Rolls Royce. Let's be honest. Moises Caicedo has been talking point pretty much every single week, if we're being totally honest there. Kieran Trippier is like the best right back this season. Look where Newcastle are. They're 3rd place, and yet one of their players are all the way down there. Kevin De Bruyne is obviously fantastic. He's got like 20 odd assists already this season. I think the top 4, I think the 5 there is correct, in my opinion. And then everything else is up for debate. I don't know why James Maddison's there.
Yeah, that would be the only one that jumps out.
He's one of only 3 central midfielders to score 10 plus goals with Odegaard and
Man United
Alexis
scored.
McAllister. Goal for Manchester United, is it? At Old Trafford it is. 1-0. It is 1-0 to the Red Devils. Anthony Martial with the goal.
Talk about the curse now! Yeah, finally got the first goal.
You said this Sevilla when you were 2-0 up.
Long way to go, my man.
It's on you today, boy, Tomo.
Long way to go, Kaz.
I don't mind. Long way to go for you as well.
We got time to win it. You got time to lose it, mate.
Touche. I like that one. Good one.
There you go then. 1-0 to United.
Can you tell I'm happy?
Anthony Martial interrupting our players that won the Footballer of the Year vote there.
I'm going to be honest. I think Kevin De Bruyne should be above Odegaard, and I'm going to say why as well. I suppose this is just to do with Premier League only, or the overall everywhere.
It's Footballer of the Year.
Yeah.
So overall, right?
Based in the Prem.
I can't lie. Kevin De Bruyne might have just, that one goal might have just put him into the conversation of getting Man City their treble or first title. I think he's just been wicked. I get it. There was a part of the game he had a fantastic start, right? And then he kind of fell off Kevin De Bruyne and were asking he should be dropped.
Have a look
but
at the
then
Martial
all of a
goal.
sudden, that was easy.
Won't get an easier Premier League goal.
Assist from Anthony.
So, and I think Kevin De Bruyne is a stepped up game after game after game after game. And if you want to talk about stats, go look at that man's stats. Crazy figures. Over 20 odd assists in the season with a handful of goals. And I think Odegaard has fallen off in the bigger games, and I think he stepped up recently. Of course, you can't deny that. Newcastle, fantastic. The game before Chelsea battered you boys. He
did. He was excellent.
And then, but before then, it was a bit stale, hit and miss. Because the start of the season, Odegaard, I was saying he's the best player in the Premier League.
No,
at that kind of time.
I just don't think.
I just think Kevin.
In my opinion, I don't know.
I think Kevin De Bruyne is
big Kevin De Bruyne fan.
Oh,
I think he's put up numbers, and in big games he's definitely turned up. And especially in the business end of the season, he's probably turned up a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's been like player of the year candidate.
But you know what?
Even when you're saying
Yeah.
like top 5 there, I even think that's maybe too high. Like I would have maybe had him 6th, 7th, 8th, like round there. But I don't know. Yeah.
Is he not on course having his best season?
I
In
think
terms of
numbers
stats,
wise,
well,
yeah,
numbers
but
wise.
that's the
KDB?
thing, I'm not
Yeah.
fooled by the numbers. I've actually been watching this season. I
think he's been
think
wicked.
his influence in games isn't as much, and that's partly the system. Pep's kind of taken it
He's
from.
putting- yeah,
he's moved
okay,
it from
fair
being
point.
evolved around KDB. He's like, Gundogan, you're going to be more of the controller. KDB, I almost want you to be almost like a second striker this season. Pick up pockets around Haaland. So his game's changed a little bit. So he's had a little bit different influence on games, but I don't know if it's the same KDB I've been used to. I've been seeing him entire season dominate type of thing. So I do think he's still the best player in the Premier League without a doubt. But I don't think he's.
I think it's up for debate with the Ødegaard point.
No.
though.
I'm going to defend my cousin.
I'm not a hater on Ødegaard because I think that's my type of player. You know when he calls it aesthetics and just ability, raw ability as well. That's Ødegaard for me. That's a proper 10. Or you could say 8 these days. That's my type of player.
Sits
But
in
I
the
just think
pockets,
Kevin De Bruyne, it's the same as actually a lot of the City players. The last, 10, no more than that, probably 16 games. They're just wicked. Jack Grealish, I don't know how Jack Grealish is in that list.
Jack Grealish should
That's
be there.
who should be
I agree
checking
with
the
you.
pace of Maddison. Jack Grealish.
Yes, Grealish has
Deserves
been
some respect.
unsung. I've said it on this channel. I've said it on this show before. Jack Grealish doesn't get the credit he deserves this
Did you
season.
see what Anthony tried?
With
What did he do? Don't tell me he tried to spin.
He just flicked it up and tried to head it back, and it went out for a throw.
Great replay from that.
Well, it's a Man United throw, though. Well, fair enough.
Yeah, it came off the Wolves player.
For me, Jack Grealish, for the fee he came in for, the pressure he was under this season, he's been outstanding. I think he's come in, he's won them games. He's first name on the team sheet at the moment, obviously other than Haaland and perhaps De Bruyne, but I really think he deserves credit for that. It must be really, really hard when you're under that much pressure to come in and be as good as he's been. So I couldn't agree more. Thank you for bringing it up, Kaz, because that is a great pick.
Mohammed A in the comments, super chat says no Nathan Ake is criminal.
That was another one. That was another one I
Yeah.
wanted in there. Definitely. I think
I need to
he's.
see
He's really
this
stepped
again.
up
It's
this
crazy.
season, hasn't he? Because I feel like there was some murmurs of maybe him leaving last season, but
Chelsea
kind of made that
Chelsea
his own.
bid for him.
Yeah.
50 million in it?
I think it was 45,
Well, more
50
than
mil.
murmurs, there were bids, full-on bids, yeah.
He's
But
literally just
definitely
taken that
turned it around.
Zinchenko role into his own, really.
What I love about Man City is, and I've made this point for a lot of players. I was on a space last night that a player can come into Man City and it might take a year, but they will always get game time if they're shown that they can adapt their game. If they can adapt their game and play to the right level, Pep will find a way to fit them into the system.
Yeah.
And that's what he's done with Nathan Ake. That's what he's done with, say, Grealish. It's what he's done with so many. Bernardo Silva didn't play much that first year. Other
Can I
players.
ask a question, an overall question? Because there's the consensus, and I'm guilty for this as well, about Man City, right?
Yeah.
Like, I was saying, Man City don't look the same anymore, but if we're being
Don't agree
totally
with
honest,
that.
they might actually be looking, I
Better.
suppose on the eye, not better, but overall, better. They are going into maybe potential final. They're going to go win the league, more than likely. And then FA Cup final, and let's
Yeah.
be honest, I'm not even confident about winning that one. It could be anyone's day, but I think they're going to smash us.
My own view with City is just that they've changed their style of play. They're
Yeah.
no longer wanting pace to play through teams really quickly. Pep's gone for slower wingers. He's gone for possession football. He's playing that 3-2-2-3. And it's really working for them. You know, it took them half a year to really kind of get it nailed. But now, I think they're as good, if not better, than they've ever been, personally.
LJ Brown super chat says no defenders in the list. Martinez, Saliba, Botman. There was also a
John
shout
Stones
for
was in the
Martinelli
list.
as well.
John Stones was in there.
was, but he's playing a little bit more as a midfielder. But
A lot of them, though,
Yeah,
I would say it was like great half seasons. Like Saliba, first half of the season was great. Then Gabriel took over. Lisandro, same thing. Botman's probably been the most consistent, but then you would have to include the whole Newcastle back line in my eyes. So,
Trippier's in there, he's a defender.
Yeah, I don't know what
Yeah.
that comment was about. LJ Brown.
I'll definitely say Nathan Ake deserves to be in there somewhere, if you can somewhere fit him in. As
Defenders
well.
are underrepresented in there. I
Yeah.
accept
always the
that.
case.
Would you put any goalkeepers potentially in there as well? Because they never get as
Alisson.
much recognition.
Alisson, if I had to put any in. But
Nope.
No. Nah, you know what? No.
Nope.
Don't ask the question.
No
I don't think he
keepers.
deserves
Nah,
it.
you know what? I'd actually deepen it. No, I think Alisson's actually still been the best keeper this season.
Yeah.
And just
He
about.
saved the most certain goals.
Yeah, because he's
More
one of.
than-
I know he's made a couple mistakes, but I think every keeper has this season.
Yeah.
Every single one. Top to bottom.
Matthew says, in hospital, successful kidney transplant, all love. Big up to you, Matthew.
Big up, man.
Big up, man.
yourself,
Big
man.
up, man.
Shout out to you, mate. Hope everything is well in hospital for you, and I'm glad to hear it was a success, mate. Going back to the football, Chesterfield have gone 1-0 up at home at Wembley to Notts County. Andrew Dallas with the pen. We saw a replay. It was a horrendous
challenge
swipe from the goalkeeper. Almost, his foot was connected to the floor.
107 point
hype.
Notts County, 107 points.
Notts County, so
It's the big game.
Ticket into the big
you've
time.
got all this now.
I can't lie, I'm really wanting a trip to Wrexham.
But it's into the Football League. Into the Football League as well.
Just for the experience. Because you know what? When was the last time you went to watch a lower league game?
Never.
I did it very recently.
Yeah, it's just atmosphere is so much better sometimes than most of these Premier League games.
Not necessarily.
Atmosphere wise.
I went to AFC Wimbledon and it was terrible. I've been to other grounds and it's been superb, but
Luton Town might be in a Premier League next season.
We're not talking about Luton's away end, all right?
Ain't Luton
There's
Town.
been another goal in the Premier League, and it's Eze. Goal for Crystal Palace at home to Bournemouth. You did say you felt like he was going to have a great game today. And that's probably the first take you've got right.
No, I said Aston Villa are going to take the early goal as well.
We did,
mate.
yeah.
It's a good prediction there.
We did.
Still 1-0 Manchester United, as we know, but Eze gets another goal. And it's a decent season he's having as well. Can he kick on as well for next season too? Let's jump in the comments.
Oh my word! According to this on stats, Tottenham. I don't like XG in that, but they're on 0.00. No goals on no goal attempts. Nothing.
0.00.
Just zero.
Could have just been zero. Yeah.
Just nothing.
No, because I don't know. I'm just going off the stats.
Yeah. Let's have a look at this Eze goal then. 39 minutes in, a great time to score just a few minutes before half time. And Crystal Palace under Roy Hodgson. I was listening to him talk to Gary Neville this morning on a podcast, and he's been around for 47 years.
Quality.
Yeah,
Well, you
I
can
absolutely love it. He speaks
ask
many languages as well.
If anyone wants to know about Roy Hodgson and Crystal Palace tactics, contact apps.
We've also got a picture of Roy Hodgson.
Yep, we do.
Very cool. Let's have a look at Eze's goal though, Tom. It's just about to be shown to us now.
Nice.
With the touch.
Oh, that's wicked. That was
from the penalty spot. He's hit it into the middle of the net, and it is 1-0 to Palace. Still goalless at St Mary's. Southampton 0, Fulham 0. Chelsea. I mean, it's been a while now since they conceded that first goal.
Yeah.
We haven't seen much from them since.
I haven't looked at the stats or anything like that.
I have.
I'm hoping and praying, all right? If you want to update us, Kaz, you feel free, mate.
You've got most of the ball.
Yep.
According to this, you've got most of the ball. You've actually had more goal attempts than them, only by one, but their XG is very similar. It looks like an even game, but not much penetration.
It's every week, mate. It's the same movie as what we've had all season. I mean, there's not really much more to say about it. I think we just got to get this season to the end. I mean, it's been a horrible, horrible season, but we're not getting relegated.
From Zaha, man.
And I was going to say this. Word on Palace, Eze's really come alive under Hodgson since he's returned. I think he's been outstanding, but I think Hodgson's coaching has done it.
Hodgson and young players seems to be
Zaha
like
too.
a proper, good. Yeah. What would you call it? A good mix.
Fusion.
But I also wanted to big up Roy. I've got some Swedish blood myself. He changed football in Sweden.
Malmo.
Came in Malmo, Helsingborg. I think it wasn't Helsingborg. It was Halmstad's. Won European Cups, won leagues. Not Champions League, but won, I believe, the Cup Winners' Cup.
I think he got to the final with Fulham.
Got final with Fulham. He did, yeah. 20.
I think against Juventus, he lost.
2012 or something. Yep.
Yeah.
It was Atletico Madrid. They lost to.
Was it?
You just got to credit his contribution to football, both in England, in Europe. He's obviously Inter Milan coach too.
Well, I was
absolute
G. To speak about his time at Inter Milan, he was saying the effigies are still burning of Hodgson from selling Roberto Carlos.
Why wouldn't you be burning?
Oh yeah, because he sold him to Madrid, didn't it?
Yeah. But he had some great players, obviously.
Didn't he sell Bergkamp to Arsenal as well?
Got to the UEFA Cup final. Ronaldo played. I think he did sell Bergkamp in '97. But what experience! What stories he must have. I would recommend you to go and watch that if you haven't already, but you can take that home.
Yeah, I would. If you're ever in Malmo, there's Roy's Corner at their stadium, so his legacy will carry on, I believe. So
well,
is he going to stay on to next season, or is that him?
I don't think so.
He's going to do like a big
He's not ruling
I think
anything
he should stay. I think he
old Roy.
should stay.
Good old Roy. No, he's a good lad.
Well, Crystal Palace have
Not
had enough
Liverpool.
time to get
They
some
pulled him out of
groundwork in.
retirement. He's come in. He's done the job. He's got the juices going. And the thing is, I feel like over the past 18 months, they were building a new culture. It seemed like under Vieira. Get back to that, man. Like, go and find a new manager. Go and find someone young, or you can build a vision on
Any
that.
suggestions? Maybe some wild ones. Maybe they're not in the Premier League. It looks
I'll
like
be honest
Paddy
with you.
Hooter's beyond
been
them.
linked.
Why not go after Brendan Rodgers?
Addy Hooter.
Why not?
I don't think.
Why
Brendan Rodgers will
not?
take that.
Look at all that talent. What are you saying?
Brendan
He's going to
Rodgers
treat them
will
like
want-
Spurs?
I said, why not? Who?
Wants a high fee though. He does, and I don't think Palace will pay it.
Who?
Brendan Rodgers' wage. He's got a very big wage packet. That was
His
a big,
wage.
yeah, yeah, his wages.
That's the first time I've ever heard that for a manager. I
No,
feel like
because do you
compensation normally is
Yeah,
what the
compensation's
issue.
massive. Look at
Wage for
Leicester's-
managers is never an issue, to be fair, for any club.
Ruben Amorim's getting like 30 million euros at Sporting.
No, that's probably
he's
his
not.
release clause. That's
No,
not his
no.
wages.
He's not
look
getting
at it.
30
Go
million
look
a
at
year.
it.
What, per year?
Go look at. I was looking it up. He's one.
Go
the
find
highest
me
paid
your source where he's getting 30
Behave.
million a year. What?
Behave,
I said
guys.
Ruben
Even
Amorim,
Simeone
30 million a
doesn't
year.
even get that.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. I
Euros.
literally know the highest paid coach.
He's on like 20 plus. Believe it or not, Simeone. He's crazy.
No,
And
here we go.
Amorim is-
Here we
Amorim is not
go.
on
Here we
more
go,
than-
guys.
Amorim is not on more than
No, of
Amorim's,
course he's not.
Amorim's got a 30 million euro release clause.
Exactly what I said, yeah. It's a release clause, not
from
the
That's
wages.
in the mud.
He's not paid 30 million a
Right,
year,
not
man.
really, actually,
Behave.
Big up Neil Warnock too, says M Smoke.
Love Neil.
Just got Huddersfield, the Hatters, the Harriers. Harriets? What are they
The
called?
Harriers.
The Harriers. The
Yeah.
Harriers.
Just
The
a quick,
Hatters are Luton, aren't they?
a quick one
Yeah.
to all those Huddersfield fans. Enjoy it, but enjoy it by being
disciplined.
enjoy it by being disciplined. All
What a
right.
guy. I
love
actually
it.
have a bit of a man crush on Neil Warnock. I can't
Who
lie.
doesn't?
I just
Who
think
doesn't?
the stories, his podcast, the character, you know, like these
Yeah.
room stories. I love that. Give me that over listening to Pep any day of the week.
I want to go to his live show.
Real men, Neil Warnock.
Real man.
Real
you know
man.
what I mean? Does real man stuff. Cass doing at AGT with the fake stats, saying Andrew Green.
No, I only can go off what
Love
I've been
it.
seeing. What I've actually seen it. His weight. Like,
Well, you saw
his
wage slip and said, yeah, he's getting 30
like
million.
his annual salary, basically. Like Conte's annual salary is massive, but his actual
even Conte's was
his
20.
release is actually currently right now 26 million.
There you go.
24 million,
LJ
actually.
Brown saying AGT stop hating because want VVD on the list. I'll chuck in another Liverpool player. You know, you were asking earlier.
Go on.
We all looked over him.
Don't say Trent.
Artemelo.
He's not played.
He hasn't played.
He's not even played the minute.
Do you know what?
13 minutes?
This is an actual stat away at Napoli. I have played at Anfield for longer this season than Artemelo has.
Ooh.
He just wanted to bring that up.
AGT.
That is not a fake
Scored
stat.
there as well, didn't he?
And man of the match.
I was like, hey, it's like it's not, you know what I'm saying? Stevie AGT, they call
Half-time at
him.
Southampton.
No, yeah, you like that one, innit? I know. He's like, hey, I like that.
Who other way gives me the best comment?
Come on, I'm the ultimate hype man.
My bro. But yeah, that is an actual fact, ladies and gents. I've played more minutes this season than Artemelo at Anfield. In fact, the only time Artemelo has played at Anfield, he lost 4-0 with Barcelona.
Damn.
And he's a Liverpool player, by the way. On loan, not for long. Anyway, right, half time at the boring 0-0 draw. Look at that. XXG 0.05 and 0.3 in the Southampton Fulham game. I had Fulham to win that one 3-1.
Some resilience there.
Wow. 0.05 XG, not too attacking either. Manchester United half time now at home now, 1-0 up to Wolverhampton Wanderers, as we know. It's also Bayern Munich 3-0 up in the 55th minute. Serge Gnabry has scored the third goal for the German champions, Bolton Barnsley. Now what a game that is, by the way, in League One, 0-0.
Playoffs
It's not a great
as well.
game, is it?
Playoffs as well.
Playoffs, League One. It's half time at Villa Park as well. Was there a slight chance for Son at the end of that half there, Fuad? Would have been a great time to score.
Yeah, any time's a good time to score, to be fair, I always say, especially before half time. But to be fair, I think it says there we've had 5 times we've been offside in this half. So timing of them runs from Son and Kane have not been great today, but 1-0 down going into the half. I'm not surprised, to be fair. I predicted a 2-1 loss. You're coached by Ryan Mason. You look at these players, they're dejected, demoralised. They played under 3 different gaffers this season. It's,
One less than us.
mate, it's not looking pretty. It's not looking good, bro.
I will add I'll add a little monologue on Ryan Mason. As a Chelsea fan, I would absolutely love and I would encourage Spurs to hire Ryan Mason. I mean, it'd be like going into a new season with an interim coach. It would just be completely ignoring and papering over the problems at Spurs. Spurs could have done what Chelsea doing this summer with a reset. Obviously, both of us been snubbed by Julian Nagelsmann. But if Daniel Levy really thinks that the solution to Spurs' problems is to give Ryan Mason a 2-year deal, it's just delusional at this point. And as a Chelsea fan, that means, maybe Spurs don't even get top 6. Maybe the big 6, Newcastle will play Spurs.
After this season, we need to just forget about Europe for a season or two, man. Just focus on getting your house in order.
But that's it. Like, I feel like at least Chelsea are trying to do that now. With Poch.
I don't know how you've gathered that bit of information, because from what I've seen this season, you don't know
this season, sure, but I think that the club are looking at the next season, bro. And I feel that
Poch hype, yeah. You go there, yeah. I'm coming for you, brother. Watch.
Is that a threat?
I know where you live.
I'm joking. Roy will protect me, all right?
I know.
Wow.
Roy will be on my door, all right? If you do that, you'll have to fight Roy Hodgson before you get to me, mate.
I don't think that's a fair fight, to be honest.
I ain't
Roy
scared of Roy,
absolutely
man.
batters Fuad in that.
Of course
one.
he would. Half time in all the
AGT,
game.
look-
Throw him up, boy.
You know he's one of them old schools.
Love to see it.
Oh, man.
They call him Mellow Yellow, says Buffalo Soldier. Love to see it. AGT, look at the Spurs game stats. They don't read well at all.
0 shots, 0
As
on
we've
target.
just approached half-time, let's talk about this. Now, this is a big topic I wanted to get all of your opinions on. And it, of course, is what is the biggest summer transfers going to look like? Let's run through a few players and you just tell me where they're going to end up. This is on the back of a couple of rumours that have flown around recently. Obviously, David Moyes kind of admitting in his presser the other day that it's time for Declan Rice to maybe leave the club. Caicedo, McAllister, João Felix, Mbappe. Where are all these guys ending up in the summer? I'm going to come round the table. Start off with Cass. Give me a club for each player. Where does Declan Rice end up this summer? Arsenal?
Yeah, Arsenal.
Where does Harry Kane end up this summer?
I think he actually, depending on Man United's situation, Man United.
Okay. Where does Moises Caicedo end up?
I think he ends up staying, I don't think no one's going to trigger it. But if anyone, it depends on, I think he might be a target for either Chelsea or Liverpool. But I'm going to say Liverpool is the surprise one. I really do think he's going to end
taking a
up.
few midfielders. Well, I'll ask you about
Ugarte,
Alexis McAllister as well.
Another one, I think he might end up not at you, but depending on Champions League, either Liverpool or Man United, because I know we're offering maybe potentially as well.
I've heard he's very keen on that Liverpool move. João Felix.
I bet you have. So as others.
Of course I have. João Felix, where does he end up? Obviously at loan.
Nowhere in the Prem. Nowhere in the Prem. I don't think no one goes in for him.
Really?
He wants to stay in the Prem.
What's his release clause at Atleti?
Something stupid.
He doesn't have a release.
I don't think he has one, but I know they were. I heard earlier something. I think I was looking around the region of 70 odd million or something to get his signature.
Yeah,
They paid
70, 80
a lot
mil.
for him, didn't they?
I don't see why anyone would want to grab him. To be honest, if I'm thinking of the top clubs that are going to be. Maybe Newcastle, but they don't need that sort of player right now. They need defensive mid, maybe a winger, maybe some new fullbacks as well from cover.
Where does
Alex, mate.
Yeah.
Where's Jude Bellingham going to end up next season?
I think he stays at Borussia for another
Did you see
season.
what he said? Apparently,
He went
according
like
to a
this.
journal.
He said when he scored his goal the other day, when I'm staying.
Oh yeah,
Guess what? I saw Enzo Fernandez do the same shit in January. 2 weeks later, he was like, hey, number 5. Chucha muchachos.
Yeah, he did it, didn't he?
I saw that. I ain't listening to none of that, man. I ain't listening to none of that. So
The only player I've seen go like that when they've scored and say I'm staying was Gerrard. I remember him scoring a banger when he was being linked to Chelsea and went, I'm fucking staying, I'm not walking, man.
Enzo, I think, went
after
like
he'd gone and done his medical and then saw a few shirts getting burnt, he was like, hey, you know what?
How many accents can you do? Got a good Geordie
I've probably
accent.
got schizophrenia, mate, if anything. No, I could do a few. We also heard, and I'm going to ask you the same questions as well. Where does, just before we move on to Fuad, Mbappe? Because we know all the time there's rumours that he wants to go.
It's just going to be Real Madrid, isn't it? It's just going to be Real Madrid.
Messi?
He's Saudi league.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Leaving PSG for the Saudis, all right? Fuad, where does Declan Rice end up, my friend?
Declan Rice goes to Chelsea.
I hope so,
think
mate.
there will be a homecoming reunion. I think the Arsenal talk is kind of where it looks like, because Arsenal have been that team, and he probably has spoken to them as well. But I think if Chelsea are smart, they go all in on him.
Get John Terry round, give him a cup of tea.
Yeah, bring one of your own back, man.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, last summer.
Remember the picture, like, this is tapping up on Instagram, like, what the hell is going on?
I don't know why Chelsea would need Declan Rice. You need a defensive midfielder.
What do you mean?
He's
Their entire midfield, the entire central midfield, you look at Kante, he's on his last legs.
Yep.
You look at Kovacic, he's on his...
Kov's
Well,
gone
not
down-
on his last legs,
Kov's
but
gone down injured
I
that
just feel
half
like
as well.
that defence... You got to remember, they got rid of Jorginho in January. They didn't
But
get
I
Casado.
don't think you can afford to get him this time around.
Right.
I think you need to offload a lot of players before
exactly.
you do anything.
They
You
will
can't do
offload.
8-year
They will
contracts no
offload.
more,
And
mate.
we're linked with Romeo Lavia
Yeah,
as
but
well.
that's a cheaper option. I can understand. He's an
I-
natural defensive
I think it could be
midfielder.
both of them. I don't think it'll be one. I think we need more than one
You need cheaper.
midfielder.
You need to look for the cheaper options now. Go play smart. You've got a whole new board and recruitment team. Go look at the smart options. You are 12th place or 11th.
I still believe that Declan Rice could be a good option. I personally don't think he will come. I think it will be Arsenal for Rice. But I personally,
Who's next?
Leaving you boys as well.
as a Chelsea fan, if Declan Rice wants to move and we can afford him, I would absolutely bite your arm off, mate. I would take it immediately.
Caicedo and McAllister will do them as a pair.
Caicedo stays 100%. He just signed the new deal recently. And then McAllister goes to you boys. I think that's part of your reinvention of the wheel.
João Felix.
Probably stays at Atletico, I think. I don't know if Simeone will leave.
I think he goes
I think by
Juventus.
default, worst case scenario, I think United might do a desperate last minute thing with a takeover. This is our marquee
Best
type
not do it.
signing.
Best
So
not do it. That one.
I remember they were linked with January. They're looking for kind of like a number 9. Can he come in? Maybe do that kind of what Martial pretty much does. Yeah, maybe. But that's what I would say.
Some big names now. Mbappe, Messi.
Messi goes to Inter Miami, I believe. I think
yeah,
all the.
I think that's a fair shout.
I think the Saudi talk is just a kind of. Man, he's
Phil Neville telling
going to
Messi
get
what
him
to do.
out of there straight away. He'll probably get one of
Do a
his
few more step overs.
Pinto or one of his former teammates or one of them to come in, Puyol or someone. I don't know, but I think Messi will go there rather than meet up with Ronaldo. I feel like the Ronaldo years are done. Them linking up in Saudi Arabia.
To Miami though, isn't it?
Who?
Did they not make a
Because
agreement
Busquets
with
apparently could be on his
Busquets
way
is
to Inter
off,
Miami
yeah.
as well. But he's also being talked of going Saudi. So I'm thinking, I don't know. Wherever Busquets goes, I think Messi goes.
Exactly, and if he'd actually stayed at Barca, he could have gone back to Barca.
I think that is completely
saying
off the
Gerard
cards.
Piqué out retirement or
No, Gerard Piqué's got his own gaming
He's
and
got his own
Business.
issues. I heard Shakira's been dating Tom Cruise.
Hey, listen, yeah, I'll tell you now, he ain't done too bad since he split with her either. So, hey, man, listen, ain't all about
He has
40-year-olds.
trolled her disgustingly, actually, when you think about it. PK to Shakira, when she said you traded a Rolex in for a Casio, the next day he turns up training with a Casio on.
Bro.
She said you traded a Ferrari in for a Fiat, and he came in driving a Fiat 500.
Bro, like, listen, that ain't no problem. That ain't no problem.
What the hell is that?
I respect PK, man.
mad.
Believe in your source.
she didn't help herself when she was cleaning the floor and she was actually cleaning like mopping a carpet or something like that.
Yeah.
Something stupid.
Let's go to Kulusevski because Fabrizio Romano says, I'm not sure he will stay. The general feeling is that Decky is a Tottenham player. We'll see at the end of the season. Ryan Mason said, I love him. He's got so much room to grow and be a top player, even though he's already a top player.
Exactly why I don't want this guy to be my
Sounds like
manager.
Michael Owen.
Like
That
this.
does sound like, yeah, I mean, he's going to be a great player. I mean, he's already a great player, but he'll be a great player, that guy.
Yeah, you're too good at actors. Yeah,
Where does he end up?
I think more than likely he stays at Spurs in an unhappy situation. He will probably try and back out of the deal last minute, but I think it's been pretty much 99% agreed for the best part of 18 months since he's come in.
Because the first 6 months, we were talking about him being a better player than Diaz.
Oh, there was talks about him being better than Saka.
And rightly so.
Yeah,
The first
he's
6
wicked.
months. Yeah.
Rightly so. Ability-wise, he sits right at those table with those boys.
I
If you
think
look
he
at the
stays at
context
Spurs.
of this season, you look at the form has not been great. Why? Second half of the season, he had a big injury. Start of the season, he had another big injury as well. Both times, he has not been able to get consistent set of games going, and I feel like this season the whole team has been off, and that's had a knock-on effect on him as well. But
yeah, do you?
I think he's got 2 goals.
100%.
I think he's got 2 goals for the whole season, so it just kind of reflects of, listen, that's not a player who's been performing this season. I think ability-wise, if you write a player like Kulusevski off, you're stupid. Because I'll tell you now that if I told you that he wasn't signing for Spurs this season, every top club in Europe is queuing up, and that says it all. So people can laugh and joke and say, "Oh, you got 2 goals." Get your jokes off. We will be back, I promise.
Well, there you go. There's Fuad's opinion. We'll move on to Tom just before, just after a couple of super chats. Guys, who do you want to win the PL, AFC, or MCFC? Says Shreths.
Who?
Depends who you ask. No, who do you want to win the Premier League?
Oh, Man City.
A super chat from Shreth. City.
Arsenal.
What was the
Who would you rather win it, AFC or MCFC?
MCFC?
Yeah.
Wait, you that was a long pause there. You think about that one.
I'm thinking, why are you saying initials? Why don't you just say the team name?
That's how he's wrote it.
It's a weird question.
That's literally how he's done it.
AFC hype.
Probably guessed by a
Who do you
couple,
think City should sign then? None from the PL, says OZ with a super chat.
That's a weird question.
To be honest, they'll find someone, won't they? We probably don't even know who they are yet, but they will find someone. Right, let's go on to Tom. Where does Declan Rice end up, my friend?
Arsenal.
Caicedo?
Brighton.
You saying he stays?
Yep.
McAllister?
I'm going to say he stays, you know.
Really?
Yeah, I think he will. I don't know how long he's got left.
Both of them are not getting offloaded.
How long has he got left on his deal?
He's just signed a new deal. McAllister about in January.
McAllister signed a new deal. For some reason,
in January, just after the World Cup, he signed a new deal.
For some reason, I can just see him staying. I don't know why. I feel that particularly with the Bellingham, I don't think Bellingham goes to Liverpool, but if he does, Liverpool won't be in for him and McAllister.
Well, I think it's more a case of we're in for McAllister over Bellingham now.
Let's see. I just don't know why, but I have a hunch he doesn't leave.
João Felix, is there a clause to say that you get the first option?
No, we've got a completely dry loan on him.
Okay.
Personally, I don't particularly want him to stay. He's a good player, but he doesn't have any end product. And I know that the team's been poor this season, but for me, not worth the money, not worth 80 million quid that they're asking for. So for me, I hope not Chelsea.
Exactly why I don't want him at United.
Go to United.
He doesn't offer no goals. He doesn't offer us goals. We need goals, not midfield.
Nor assists.
I think as an 8, great. Yeah, he could be that guy and drive up the field. I think he's a great. He played there for Portugal in the World Cup when he dropped deep as an 8, picking up on the wide left. He was wicked. As a false 9, he's not my type of guy. Unless you're going to make him as a second striker kind of tip.
He'd have to be Cam. He'd have to play Cam.
Please say attacking mid. This is not FIFA.
Fair enough.
Look at this guy thinking he's Neil Warnock.
Just because you say CDM, there's no such thing as DM.
What, central defensive midfielder?
It's not
of course
FIFA. This is not FIFA.
That's what the managers say.
It's not Cam. You've been playing too much pro clubs.
Oh, bloody hell, all right, mate.
Right, you sound rattled about that one. It's all bad. If your club could sign 3 realistic players, that's the key word here, realistic, who would they be and why? Obviously, we know as well that Ivan Toney has been... claimed by Thomas Frank, his manager, that he could be worth 100 million in his opinion, but there's maybe one to throw in the list. But give me 3 players that you would love. Actually, I'm not love. I said, didn't I? Don't stray from the question. It's realistic.
Go on. For Man United?
Yeah.
Let me think of some 4th choice players. Sabitzer probably. No, I'm joking. I don't know. I can't actually give you any. I'll be so honest, even to the guys in the comments. Any Man United fan knows that this ownership situation, we don't know. We actually don't. It's actually so difficult to put. I'm just going to say Sabitzer's number 1. I don't want him personally, but I can see us sign him on the permanent. I don't. Kim Min Jae might be another one. He'd be linked with quite
what great career player he's had in the last few years.
I think he's worth something along the lines of 45 million on a release clause. Concrete.
Is it this summer that release?
Not being funny though, he's just won the league in Italy with Napoli. Why would you want to leave there right now?
Wage maybe was one. Salary's always going to be Premier League's always got the big bucks. You just won the league there. Maybe you want another challenge somewhere else. And at the end of the day, no disrespect to Napoli, but we are a bigger club.
Not this season, mate.
Well, they're a better club, not a bigger club.
Diego Maradona would say otherwise, I think.
Huh?
Diego Maradona.
Yeah, okay. you want to say Diego Maradona, let me go through Cristiano Ronaldo, Wayne Rooney, Ruud van Nistelrooy. I can give
John
you countless
O'Shea,
names.
loads.
John O'Shea.
Wes Brown.
Three players for Tottenham that you realistically like to see through the door, and then we will dive into this Ivan Toney chat.
Castello Luqueba, Lyon centre back. Very talented. I think this season he's kind of had his breakout year over the past 18 months or so.
Young as well.
Yeah, very young. I wanted Badiashile like a year ago. He's obviously ended up at Chelsea. But Luqueba is definitely one. I think Simican at RB Leipzig would be another one as well. I'd definitely look at centre back. Enzo Lafy at Lorient.
Oh, baller.
I'm going shopping in France, basically. Alex Scott is another centre mid option. I've seen a few tapes of his over the past month or so. I think he got Championship Young Player of the Year this year.
Bristol City, right?
I'll be honest with you, another one as well, I'd be looking at the clubs who get relegated. So Southampton, I'd be going Bella Kotchap in particular. Lavia, I think a lot of the bigger clubs will probably be in front of us in the queue. But someone like a Bella Kotchap,
as well.
1-0 at Fulham, goals just scored there.
Big away goal that for Fulham.
And for Southampton.
And even more important, in the wrong way for Southampton as well.
And David Raya. My thing is this: goalkeeper, centre back, creative midfielder. Those are the three. I need the spine sorted. So
don't forget as well, and Kunku's coming, which will leave less space for the likes of Felix to stay.
No, absolutely.
Carlos Vinicius with the goal. Decent run of form.
27.
Yeah, he's done well, hasn't he?
Since he's left Spurs in the absence of Mitrovic. Liverpool, I'll go McAllister. I'll go
Agate.
Apparently, I heard yesterday that we're not interested in him.
He's Villas.
I heard we were, but now we're not
Tottenham,
apparently. So, realism.
No chance.
I think our main areas that we need to buy. We need to definitely buy a new number 2 because it looks like Kelleher and Adrian are both going to leave. So I'd get a number 2. Who that could be?
Maybe
it's Keylor Navas. I might nick him from Forest if he's not serious about staying there forever.
PSG.
No.
Oh, that's
I would. If I'm Spurs, I would actually look at Dean Henderson's situation. At United.
Lucky.
1-0.
That's very lucky.
Who's that? Vinicius.
Easy as you
He's
like.
got some good goal scoring form at the moment.
Giving it the big one there as well.
Just said that after Mitrovic has been out. Ruben Sellers as well. I think he's a decent manager. I don't think that's the end of him.
Fun fact on Southampton.
Making too many rookie mistakes.
We've been heavily linked with that Jeremy Frimpong, but I've never seen any defensive capabilities for him at right back, and I don't understand why we'd want that. I get it, it's the attacking output, but if you've never seen a defender defend, not even an inch of defending, why would you want to go get that?
So I'll go McAllister. I'll go. Oh man, it's tough. It is tough, you know. I'd say we need a new centre back to. I think Nat Phillips
you're linked with.
I like Ndika. We've been linked to him for a while, Ndika. So
he was one I actually.
And one more name as well. You're linked with from Sporting, Gonçalo Inácio, and I can't believe if you get him, that's going to make me very angry.
We get a lot of players from Portugal recently.
They got all the talent.
That's a great tackle. That I don't think that's a foul at all, Nyanko.
No
I'll go
terrible goal.
One more. I'll go Ugarte just because I do think we need a new Fabinho. And if I'm honest, I've seen good stuff from him, so I don't actually understand why Liverpool have ruled themselves out of it. But there you go. Let's move on to Ivan Toney. Question is, boys, is he worth 100 million? This is what Thomas Frank has said.
I haven't given my 3 players, Alex.
Sorry?
I haven't given my 3 players.
Oh, sorry, my friend. After you. Go.
Sorry, I just thought because I have 3, I thought I would give
I think I didn't ask you because Chelsea got enough signings.
Probably. To be fair, I'm not going to...
Probably talk about 3 you want to get rid of.
Yeah, so I mean, if I did have to choose 3 signings, there would be my only 3 signings for the Chelsea. It would probably be Ivan Toney up front. I know the money is obviously an obstacle.
Really? What about the 262 charges he apparently faces and a lengthy
ban? Even if it's, that's
apparently he's proper Chelsea.
That could cut the price. That could cut the price. Then we got...
They love that stuff there. Oh, no, you got to hold a bit of gold.
Oh, you're funny, mate. And then we got Rice or Lavia, one of the 2. I mean, obviously, depending on budget. And then goalkeeper Andre Onana.
So wait, go through them again. Go through them again.
Yeah,
so you said as a DM.
Yep.
And a goalkeeper, and what else?
Striker.
Oh, who's your striker option?
I said Toney.
Oh, Toney.
You just told me about the charges.
Realistic one.
I think
Vlahovic maybe.
No.
Out of favour at Juventus potentially.
I'm hearing Lukaku. I'm hearing Lukaku's back.
Lukaku may come back, but it depends very much on that moving part. I mean, I guess you could, well, maybe Lukaku plays like a new signing under Poch, but
could you take him back as a Chelsea fan after the disrespect he showed to your club, though?
I don't think we have any choice, to be honest, at the moment. He's coming into a bit of form, so maybe Inter take him for another year. But otherwise, there's two choices. Either we let him rot and we've lost 100 mil, or we give him a chance and see if he can do something and see if what he's saying is true, that his problem was Tuchel and not the club. So I don't think we have any choice but to try and just give him another go. I don't particularly want to, but that's the thing with him. And fun fact on Southampton, 25% of their points this season have come from Chelsea, having done the double over us. So Charity FC at it again there.
Oh man,
we love to hear it.
There you go. Let us know in the comments if you agree with all those players for Manchester United, Tottenham and Chelsea and Liverpool to sign. But yes, Ivan Toney, you mentioned him as a striker Chelsea want to buy. If he isn't worth 100 mil, what do you actually think he is worth? 20 plus goals for a mid-table club, essentially.
Say that again, sorry?
How much do you think Ivan Toney is actually worth? And I think it is important to remember the ban that could potentially come as well, because that could get him at a discount price.
Listen, the problem with valuations is it's what the club values the player at. It's similar like with Harry Kane last year when people were trying to tell us, oh, he's not actually worth 150 million. But to us, he is. So to Brentford, I can understand them saying, look, to us, he's worth that 100 million. Maybe not to you guys, but the question will be then, are clubs willing to pay it? I think any club that's willing to pay that money, knowing those allegations are hanging over his head as well. 1-1 equaliser, Chelsea, Raheem Sterling.
Love it.
Is that that equation now in the
Chelsea?
Wants to give it another go under Poch next season. You love to see it.
Bayern Munich also 5 up against Schalke, who are definitely going down now. But
Raz.
Yeah, Raheem Sterling gets a goal.
Delighted for him.
An equaliser.
Looking the way it is, way that it's coming seemingly from a Forest free kick, we haven't scored a goal on the counter-attack for 18 months. Okay. So if this goal does come on the counter, it'll be our first counter-attacking goal.
Statman Tom.
In 18 months. Oh, I just read
just
too much
before
Twitter,
we see that goal, let's go back to Fuad. Did you give us a firm...
No, not worth it in my opinion.
If I say 40, does that sound fair?
Of course, 40 is fantastic. I think anything up to 60 million you pay for Ivan Toney, you're like, you know what, I'll probably get my money's worth in return, because he's, 27, 28 in the peak of his career. Probably get a good 3-4 years out of him. Proven Premier League player, proven goal scorer, great link-up play, great hold-up play as well, great penalty taker as well, so get you those extra 4 or 5 you need per season. But yeah, so I think anything up to like 60, 65 million, you're looking at a value for money. Anything over 60 million, I think it's a bit steep in my eyes.
I think
said it would be a deflection.
If Brighton are pricing McAllister and Caicedo at midfielders at 70, 80 million, maybe more potentially, then I think Thomas Frank will look at them like, okay, I've got a 20-goal season striker. Where are you going to get those in the world these days? I want 100 million then, right? So as you said, it's true. It's whatever the club values him at. But as a personal preference, I would say right now the season's going to have that he's having. He's probably going to score a few more goals as well. Potentially 25 goals this season. I think that's an £80 million striker when we look at it in the Premier League, English tax as well, prime years.
The ban will lower that price.
And who?
The ban.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
On the pitch price and then an off the pitch price as well.
Yeah,
so on the pitch, after you've said everything there, you would presume 80, but then knowing what is potentially to come.
And also, it's not unknown for Ivan Toney to, like, when it comes to, everyone's seen clips of him when disrespecting Brentford, and no one's serious, no one big,
God, look at
this, that and the other port.
How do you miss that
big chance for Harry Kane away?
Wow, you
at Aston Villa.
Money on that. But yeah, Ivan Toney, he would be pushing for a bigger move, 100%.
But which club would he fit in at the best?
Man United.
If Spurs let Kane,
I was just about to say.
I'm going to say Chelsea under Pochettino, similar to Kane.
Spurs.
Yeah, or maybe Spurs, but it depends on their new manager.
He plays the same way as Kane does.
Yeah, but we don't know if that's going to be changed under the new manager. Pochettino is known for the Kane roles specifically, right? Mainly, he moulded that. If Ivan Toney isn't a mould of Kane,
I really want him. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, and he's in West London. He wouldn't have to move or anything.
As long as we don't give him a number 9 shirt, because if we give him the number 9 shirt, he'll be terrible. But I think for him, there's just that fear that he comes back from a ban, not the same player, or unfit, or there's always just that uncertainty when it comes to long bans. I hope I'm wrong because he's a superb player, but there's always that uncertainty with how long the ban is and all of that. Sadly, it's something you do have to consider.
He'll probably have to stay for another year, more than likely. I think Brentford will probably price him out of the market this summer. The ban hanging over his head, he'll probably have to serve that while still being at Brentford. Best thing you can do is just get your head down once you come back from the ban.
Exactly.
And if he can get more than likely it'll probably be like a 10-game ban, I reckon, or something.
People say 6 months.
Trippier went for longer than even less.
But if they give him 6 months in May, don't forget the 2 months of summer.
He's already served.
He can serve that already.
No,
so my thing is if he misses half a season, and he can still come back that second half of next season, still getting 12, 13, still gets you 12, 13. I think he can still get that big money move next year.
How old is he though?
27, I think.
Okay, so he's in his prime. He won't want to wait too long.
Days, he looks like he's built like he could probably play until he's in his mid-30s potentially. Like let's say 33, 34. I think Ivan Toney's got that sort of. He's athletic. He's
just turned
strong.
27. Yeah.
He won't want to wait too long for that move though.
I think, and that's the thing. I think the opportunity for a top club, a la a Chelsea or a United, I think is this summer. I think next summer.
Yeah.
After the ban, maybe you're not scoring as many after being banned for a certain period. I think you might end up at like a Spurs.
Yeah. Chelsea will get a 9 this summer.
100%.
Whether it's Lukaku back in or whether it's somebody else. So unless it is this summer, as you say, Fuad, I don't see Toney next summer for us.
Lukaku really needs to think about his future as well at the same time. And I'm talking about within himself because
he's unprofessional.
A guy on my channel called Mo, he's an Inter Milan fan. It's the same issues with Lukaku wherever he's been, is his weight issue, being too stocky and stuff like that. Everyone wants the Everton type Lukaku. If he's going to be like that in the Prem, he's going to suffer. Like he come back from injury very unfit. Inter Milan are not even playing him. They're playing Edin Dzeko over him these days,
He's scored a few in the last few weeks, hasn't he?
Yeah,
he's had a decent season.
But the Inter Milan fans, I can tell you from his perspective, from the actual Inter Milan fan,
underwhelmed.
They can't stand him. They don't want him. They don't even want to buy him. And he needs to look for himself how he wants to view himself in his career.
I've made a point on Lukaku. I don't think he's left any club he's been at on good terms.
Yeah.
Every one of his previous clubs is absolutely furious at the way he's left, his behaviour, and I would hope maybe that maybe convinces him to change next season.
Are you a man who leaves your ex-girlfriends on good terms?
Ex-girlfriends, football girlfriends, my man. What do you want to know?
I'm just trying to,
What are you going
analogies.
on about? Hazard, for instance, though, he left Chelsea on good terms.
Zinchenko did.
Zinchenko left City on good terms.
Sterling didn't.
Sterling maybe not, but players
did Hazard leave Lille on good terms?
Not necessarily, but
is Hazard going to leave Real Madrid on good terms?
He's probably going to retire at the end of his contract, I read, which would be really
sad. Will the Real Madrid remember him?
No, they won't. But
you don't always leave on good terms. Is what I'm trying to get at.
No, fair enough.
I think you look at the situations as well where Lukaku is like. I think at Everton he's probably still received warmly. West Brom probably still received warmly. Yeah. I think it's United where he was kind of chased out. And the under 12s are wishing him happy birthday this morning. So I was like. Clearly, he still loved at some clubs.
Didn't he leave Everton on? I thought he did leave Everton on bad terms after that.
He got Everton a bloody record fee, so they better be grateful. That's what allowed them to get Richarlison afterwards. So
they paid a lot for him.
Palace
for me,
have scored again at home to Bournemouth. It's 2-0 to Palace. And it's
Eze. Oh my God. It's my day so far.
Hodgson.
I said 3-0.
2-0.
Roy is getting the most lovely tune out of Eberechi Eze. Goodness me.
Yeah, wicked.
No, he's on a hat-trick now, going into the last half an hour again. There's been another goal at Chelsea.
Oh, goodness.
So who has it gone to?
Has it gone to
It's Chelsea are 2-1 up at home
I've only just seen it, man.
And it's Raheem Sterling again.
I had no clue, man. You made me think we were losing. The fact I'm at home to Forest and I'm sat here like, oh, God, we're going to go 2-0 down. Oh, Joe, I'm delighted for Rez. I really am.
I was just thinking...
Boom.
Oh.
I'm delighted for Sterling.
I was just sitting there thinking, there's not a lot of goals today right now. What's going on in soccer Saturday? And then here we are.
Saturday football show.
Yeah, don't
way
stop
better than
competitors.
True, this ending, isn't it?
Yeah.
Delighted for Sterling.
Because we're doing this.
He wants to stay next season and he's a few goals today. He's showing maybe
He
some
needs
potential.
a number. Sterling's always worked best when he's had a number 9 with him, not
Yep.
a false 9. Go look at his stats and numbers.
Yeah, I'd like to see. Oh, just delighted for that. Although Forest's away form, is it going to come back to bite them? Possibly send them down unless they can get a point today.
Yeah, 1-0 up. They're now 2-1 down. Sterling just under the hour mark. Come off the man. And that man is Raheem
Is that
Sterling,
Loftus-Cheek?
who in
Yeah.
7 minutes has fired 2 goals in for Chelsea. Let's go through the goal now. It's a great
Sterling
finish.
couldn't finish.
Good
It's a
goal.
gorgeous goal,
It's a
that is.
kind of Sterling at City finish, that isn't it? And he's got his smile back. He's celebrating.
Yeah.
Lampard not even smiling, but there's no reason for him
Delighted
to
for him.
smile.
Really happy for him.
Well, there you go. Let us know in the comments who are the best contenders to come and buy Ivan Toney. Is it this summer? Is it the season after? Let us know. What is your reaction, boys, to the manager of the month? Unai Emery gets it for April. Bearing in mind, Pep 5 out of 5 wins and still not won manager of the month award. Klopp also 5 out of 5 wins. So, Unai Emery wins it.
Deserved.
Yep.
I think you could say Pep could get it, obviously, with City, and Erling Haaland got the player of the month as well. So
I don't
no
understand
doubt about
that.
it, but
He drew against Brentford. He lost against us in April. Just about got past a Leicester City with a red card. I'm seeing on there as well. Why is it deserved? When you just
Why not?
mentioned
Deserved.
Liverpool
Why
been
not?
struggling for form,
Pep will probably get the
wins
manager
in
of
a
the
row.
year.
You just mentioned. I think maybe potentially that should go to Klopp, if I'm being honest, or Pep.
We've had this debate.
The thing
on
is,
the
Pep
show.
is going to get the manager of the year.
Yeah, but
For me, I want to see
in a row.
Unai get some flowers before the end of the season. That's the reason why
If you was
I
going to
would
give him it, I think it would be the month before.
But is it about
potentially.
flowers or stats?
Come on, man. This is
flowers, let's
let me tell you
take
something.
Roy
Yeah,
Hodgson.
wasn't it?
It's about
Wasn't it
expectations.
Aguero hadn't won a single one or something like that? Like there's
never won one either.
yeah. So for me, it's like these
Greedy.
player of the month things. I take them all with like a pinch of
Greedy.
salt. They don't really mean much. It's just like a.
They're
I think-
nice to win, but
Yeah, and for me,
Factually,
it shouldn't kind of
sometimes
break
incorrect.
hearts if someone doesn't win it. I think if Unai gets it this month,
Manager
give
of
it
the
to
month
him, man.
curse as well.
Klopp and Pep have how many in their draws? I mean, I'm sure they're let Unai get one, man. Come on, let everybody eat.
so it's a pity one for you.
Do they even want to
If
win
you
it?
want to call it that, I'll give it to.
Manager of the month curse.
Goal for Forest! It's 2-2!
Oh my!
Stamford Bridge!
Oh, you delighted now, Tom?
I said I was delighted for
Mate, there's still
Sterling.
time for you as well. Don't
Hey,
worry
I
about
know,
that.
I know.
Awoniyi gets his second of the afternoon. He's matched Sterling's 2 with his own 2 away at Chelsea,
on,
and they
boys.
are fighting for their lives. As I said, I did predict them to win 2-1, but it's 2-2.
Before we see the goal, are we saying Mendy mistake?
No, I hope not.
I'm going to say Mendy mistake.
I'll go with Mendy mistake
Yeah,
as
let's
well.
go
Then
for it.
why not? Brendan Johnson warming up on the bench as well.
That's not who you wanna see.
which isn't a great sign for Chelsea either, because he can come on and cause some damage as well. But it's 2-2. Chelsea's
Oh, was it a
defensive
Delap
record
type throw
is
there?
just astonishing, really, this season, isn't it? By the way, Barnsley 1-0 up in the playoff semi
Away
with
as well.
Bolton. Nicky Cadden with the goal. There is a VAR review on this goal for Awoniyi,
Oh,
we're
let's
hearing
go.
as well. Bayern Munich
Please.
taking the mick now, 6-0 up at home to Schalke. Will they
Right,
win the
man.
Bundesliga this season, or will Borussia Dortmund nick it? Let's have a look at the goal.
Vintage Stoke.
It's not
Yeah, it's
necessarily.
like a,
Was
I
he
don't think that's
offside?
Mendy's
They're
mistake.
going to have a look at it for
That should be
sure.
given.
That was just a wicked cross, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I don't see
Something
anything
not
wrong
quite
with it
right
unless
about
it is
it.
offside. Unless it is.
It's not on the screen anymore, so I think it's probably a goal.
It's gone down. It has gone down to VAR. Apparently, also Man United should be having a potential penalty.
Okay, well, let us know how that one goes.
VAR check, is it?
There's a VAR on the Forest
Happens
right
here.
now as we speak.
He's onside, so I
think he
can't
is
see what the
onside.
issue is there.
I believe it's
Maybe a
something.
foul
I think
in
it's
the-
a foul in the area.
I think
That's
they're
a Forest
asking
player
if
who's
the
been
last...
fouled though.
Like a bit of argy-bargy there.
That's a Forest player who's been fouled, so I don't
They're,
think.
they're thinking that there might have been a touch here, and if he has headed it by Yates, it is offside, but they're looking very closely at that now, and they're still
man, that's coming off
deliberating.
his hair?
Oh, I think it has touched it.
Has
He
it
has
come off
touched
his
it.
hair? Has it come off his hair? I don't think
I don't think so.
I just think give
the
the
ball
goal.
doesn't change flight for me.
That's the
I
one
do
for me.
think probably
Look,
give the goal.
Apparently,
at this
Bruno
point.
Fernandes has been taken out, and they're working out if Kilman took him out.
I
Something
reckon
like that. He didn't get the ball and got the man.
Okay.
as a Chelsea fan, genuinely,
It's a goal for Forest.
I think it should be a
stands.
goal. To be honest,
Yeah, it's
with
been
you.
given. It's been given.
I think it should
100%,
be probably should be a goal. Yeah.
Imagine getting given outside. Oh God, he skimmed his hair. But
No.
Imagine that.
I accept that.
At that point, you're gonna have to put like those
Sensors on the.
sensors like in cricket when they can see if
Yeah,
it's come
yeah.
off the bat. You're gonna need that in everyone's hair.
On the ball,
yeah.
my mark on the ball.
Unbelievable.
Bizarre.
What was it? The nicometer or something?
Yeah, Snicko, yeah.
But there you go. It's a goal for Forest, and there's 25 odd minutes to go for them to actually go and nick this game and claim a massive 3 points in the fight for survival. Still Aston Villa 1, Tottenham 0. We saw Harry Kane miss a wonderful opportunity, Fuad. This is almost touching into dangerous territory if Aston Villa go above you here, because they would if they win this.
Europa League spots, as I said before the game, it's almost like a Europa League 6-pointer. And for them, it's the way our trajectories of the season are going. They've pretty much been ascending into those European spots while we've been kind of disgracing ourselves and falling from that Champions League spot. Because remember, at one time, we even slid into that top 4. And I said, like, if we are able to somehow this season get top 4, the rest of the Premier League needs to slap itself in the face. But life has restored itself back to default settings, and 1-0 down at Villa. I think pre-game I predicted a 2-1 defeat. Villa at home have been fairly decent, and then us away we've really been struggling. Typically go down 1-0 very early on, but the performance has been uninspiring pretty much. So can't say I'm too surprised, and I don't think any Spurs fan will be too surprised either. I just feel sorry for the away fans that followed this wretched team up and down the country. Been doing long trips to Newcastle, long trips to Liverpool. Now it's a long trip to Birmingham, and boy, every week it seems like they're coming back being told, hey, we'll refund you your tickets, don't worry.
Yeah.
They're going to run out of money soon.
Brother.
It's not even half the cost of an away day either, the tickets. It's particularly Newcastle. Ticket doesn't even tip the iceberg, really.
No.
You know?
Well, there is 23 minutes to go at Villa Park. Can Tottenham get something? Morgan Gibbs-White is on now for Forest. He's looking to swing the ball in. He's had a really good second half to the season, I would say.
Gibbs-White?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say so.
I would say, listen, if Forest go down,
It's going to
more
cost
than
you
welcome.
How
50
much
odd
does he
mil.
go for? Yeah.
They bought him for
in their
44.
relegation
Yeah,
clause
he
or
paid
something.
him,
Ain't there
yeah.
relegation clause in there? I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is.
I think there's a lot.
I'm sure there
I
is.
can't see them keen to take anything less than what they bought him for.
Hey
45
man,
mil.
hey man.
Yeah, I would want to claim that money back.
A lot of English
To be fair
stats
though,
on that.
he's looked every part worth it. And I remember when he got signed, it was a questionable one where everyone's looking at. Why would you sign a Wolves squad player? Because that's what he was. He was a squad player at Wolves, coming off the bench. Good
Wolves fans
energy.
didn't like him.
Good energy, yeah, and that's the thing. Seen as almost like a bit of a prima donna, if you like. But since he's come there, taking the number 10 shirt, and he's been everything I think Nottingham Forest fans expected Jesse Lingard to be, and if not more, dare I say. But what a player, man! I definitely look at him for the summer for that creative midfield position.
Up for grabs if they go down, potentially. Still the same scores everywhere else. Let's go into the comments. Half of these players want to take a masterclass session with AGT. Heskey gave him an 8 out of 10 on his Anfield debut. Shout out to you, Toby Larone. Great name. Second place trophy over UCL, according to Arsenal fans, says Kingslayer. Crappy Spurs were third at one point of the season, says Andy Braithwaite. Harry Kane had the big chance but missed, says Shamalian.
Big sitter.
As we know.
Big sitter.
It's one of those chances that, I mean, John McGinn was head on hands as Kane was going through. He knew that Kane would score that.
It's inevitable,
It's
almost.
inevitable.
Yeah.
He's just gone straight down the middle of the keeper. Poor.
If he's not scoring, it tells you, listen,
There's definitely
you're in a
something up.
jam today, lads.
Yeah, get yourselves out of that one. 3 unavoidable things in life: death, taxes, and AGT not reading super chats, says Ciala.
Damn.
Well, let's get into the super chats now. Thanks for
Shots
reminding
being
me, my
fired there.
friend. There's not many. Fuad, we've already spoken about this as well. Brazy says, Fuad, would you take Kelleher at Spurs? You said he...
Good option.
he's an
I
option,
don't know if he's
not number
ready
one.
to start yet. I think whoever comes up into the Premier League next season, I think that's the kind of keeper you jump at. Burnley, who they got in goal at the moment?
No.
They're not still relying on Tom Heaton, are they?
No,
Man
Fulham
United
just scored another goal.
Fulham 3-0 up
Southampton
now.
down, I
No,
think.
this will be their second.
Oh, was it not 2-0 already? There.
Honestly, if
This
I'm
is
even
what
Nottingham
Navas.
Forest, because I know Navas, I don't know how long that deal
See, I
is.
would
It's
take
PSG.
him as a number 2 at Liverpool.
I think, yeah, give Liverpool Navas and take Kelleher, make him your number one.
potentially.
Henderson goes back to United, so you don't have him anymore. I think Forest should
I don't
definitely
think
look at
Navas
Kelleher.
wants to be a number 2, though. I think
Yeah,
he
but
moved to
he's-
Forest for a reason.
He's very old now. I think for
Keylor
a year
Navas.
or two at Anfield, he'd be.
Nah,
happy to be
Keylor
number
Navas,
2.
what is he, 37 now? Mate, you've won it all, done it
you've
all.
won
You've been to a
five.
couple of
Why
World
go to
Cups.
Liverpool? Why not just stay at
To
PSG?
be our number
and be
2,
number
we
two?
need a number 2.
Why would you be number 2 at Liverpool if you're
Because
number 2 at
PSG, 50%
What are they
tax
winning?
in France, isn't it?
Well, they're in Champions League. They're like,
Alexander
see the point.
Mitrovic,
Like,
the man that's doubled Fulham's lead, by the way, back after 8 games. Him and Vinicius, Carlos Vinicius, that is, on the score sheet today. Both of their strikers have now scored, and Mitrovic back in the goals after a lengthy ban for, of course, pushing over the referee against was it Man United against? Yeah, it was. Another super chat. Diallo says, speak on Lamina and Kilman, pure hoopers all day.
Lamina? Pure hooper? I've never heard that
And that
word.
was a super chat you wanted me to read out.
But
you made a big
Kilman, I will say,
Kilman.
Kilman is actually one of those where we was talking
don't
about
know.
earlier on people to target.
That's not
I
what
think he's someone I would look at Spurs as well.
Kilman.
Yeah, Kilman. I think he's very nice, technically very good. Maybe this season hasn't played to the levels he did last year, but you could say that universally about a lot of Wolves players.
The
to be
day
fair.
gets worse for Fuad. It's now Aston Villa 2, Tottenham Hotspur 0.
Who scored? Oh, Douglas Luiz.
At least I'm close to my prediction. I did say 2-1.
Oh wow! Tottenham are
I did
definitely in the
say
mud
2-1.
there. 2-0 away.
Listen, I'm not surprised in the slightest. Like, that's the reason why I'm giving the whole slow, sarcastic applause. If you're a Spurs fan and you're genuinely gutted, or you're shouting at your screen right now in anger with veins bulging from your neck, give it a rest. Relax. Calm down. Have a cup of tea. Don't let this ruin your weekend. Life is more than just 22 men running around chasing the ball.
If they were winning,
throwing
would
it
you
into
be
a net.
saying this? Though?
No, I mean, I'm just telling you the facts. You can't let 22 other men dictate how you feel on a weekend.
Pause.
I will leave
big
here.
pause.
I will leave here very happy, regardless of this result. Because why? Life is more than this.
I don't know if I totally believe that, but it was a good little speech anyway, so I'll rate it. Douglas Luiz standing over the free kick around about 22, 23 yards out here.
Wow.
Let's have a look.
Vamos,
Oh, it's a great free kick.
Vamos,
hand on
vamos,
it.
Great
That's
free
not
kick.
strong
It's got a
enough.
hand to it, did Forster, but it wasn't enough to keep it out. And Douglas Luiz, after giving away a massive chance to Harry Kane,
Good evening, man.
is
Good
now
evening.
very relieved because his free kick has just doubled Aston Villa's lead. Tottenham in the mud. Another horrendous away performance here from Spurs.
Two shots
get my head round it.
all day.
And one of them was Harry Kane miss. What's the latest at Old Trafford? for us there?
Well,
Yes.
I don't know about my man hooping. I'm not seeing that. I'm hearing Wolves are putting in a stinker, not their typical game. But Man United's actually had 21 shots and 6 on target all game. I don't know, from the way it seems, it just seems maybe a bit stale.
Yeah.
Probably stale, I would say, from what it looks like. Nothing much has changed.
Well, not long to go there at Old Trafford, and this win, if it is a win, how far does that go to actually guaranteeing? Because after this, is it just 3 points you need in 2 games?
No, I would say no. We need 9 out of the possible 12 to secure it officially, unless you boys drop points. But then the whole Newcastle equation comes into play now.
Yeah. So
If we win this, we go on level on points with Newcastle.
Yeah. Can they drop out? Who knows? Right, it's still 2-0 to Crystal Palace at home to Bournemouth. Southampton are losing 2-0 at home to Fulham. Vinicius and Mitrovic with the goals. As we know, Martial got that early goal for United, which is still keeping them ahead in this one. Chelsea 2, Nottingham Forest 2. That is the one to be keeping an eye out, really, for the last 15 minutes of this game. Kulusevski offside for Tottenham there as well. Let's go back into the chat. Apparently Sancho has missed a sitter, says Ted.
Yep.
Sutton, adding on to the argument that Fuad made earlier on today that he should be in the worst 11 of the season.
Bagels is now on as well, so he might as well close off shop. Nothing's happening. He came on about 5 minutes ago for, let me check, he came on for Martial.
Sounds like Man United had dominated the game, but
Just
when
can't
you're only
finish.
a goal up.
This is the situation where I would probably look to probably put on Garnacho. He's back. He's been on the bench. Give him 10-minute run out. 50. Get Sancho off. We need some vim. Without Rashford there, there's no vim in the front four even.
Yeah.
So and you need that. And I don't know. We don't know how long Rashford's going to be out for.
Have they said what type of injury it even is?
No, they haven't. No, but no, something to do with his leg.
Oh.
So something to do with his leg. Apparently,
Something happened here?
their goalkeeper's just made a fantastic save from Sancho as well.
Yeah.
Again. So
The door's
So that's
still
2
ajar.
chances in 2 minutes for Sancho there.
I think about 6 minutes. He should have, apparently. I'm just looking, even scrolling through some Twitter comments and just commentary through Flash Score, and obviously here as well is that Sancho is literally, he should have been scoring at least 2 goals today, minimum. Sums up Man United though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the finishing aspect of it all. I'm not too sure if Wolves are going to claw anything back. I suppose some guys in the comments probably might be watching the game, could update us what the actual, a fair speculation on how it's looking at the moment. But it looks like Wolves
Last
must have
15 minutes now, and it's 2-2 in the Chelsea game still. 1-0 in that United game, as you were just saying, against Wolves. 2-0 Aston Villa versus Tottenham. Crystal Palace 2-0 up against Bournemouth as well, and Fulham 2-0 away at Southampton as well.
Do you think Nottingham Forest could nick something, Tom? Do you reckon? Just by the scenes of it all. Brennan Johnson now on, Lingard potentially coming on as well.
Mate, with Chelsea, all bets are off this season. Like, I could see us winning the game, but I could see them winning the game just as much.
You're not too fussed, are you?
It's not that I'm not
You're
fussed.
fussed.
No.
You're on the DR curse, isn't it? That's what you want to break.
Firstly, that, but also like, I could come on here and get angry, right? Yes, I don't think even Chelsea have even got a draw when I've been on DR. I think we've lost every single game we've played when I've been live on this channel. What I would say, I guess, is like, I could sit here getting angry, but the point is, we know that this season is the end of the road for this, for Frank, for this project.
Yeah.
Like, we have a new start next season. We're very close to getting a new coach in. We're safe. I'd like to see us win games. I'd like to see players do well.
So funny.
Matisse has been saying it all year, to be fair.
That's how it's felt since about March. We were stuck on 39 points for about 7-8 games. So I know it sounds pathetic, but there was a point where I genuinely thought we'd lose every remaining game. So why.
Didn't know this. Apparently Bruno Fernandes his first name isn't even Bruno. Apparently it's Miguel.
Is it like Miguel Bruno?
Miguel Bruno Fernandes.
That's like, isn't it Jose dos Santos something Mourinho, isn't it, or something?
Felix.
Yeah, a lot of the Portuguese and Brazilian lads have got those names, don't they? Double-barreled and that. LJ Brown says, "Down, Wolves breaking Cass's curse." Well, there's still some time to go there.
11 minutes plus injury time.
Still some time to go there. Don't worry about
my smile could absolutely get wiped off the floor.
I really hope it does.
Not for the first time on DR Sports as well, by the way.
I'm just taking a draw at this point, like, just to break the losing curse on DR Sports at the moment.
Wow, it's unbelievable. Super Frank is proper Chelsea, says ex-Shabba.
He's absolutely spot on who said that. Super Frank is proper Chelsea, and he will be.
It's
not
a good thing though, is it? Being proper Chelsea, is it?
Of course it's a good thing.
Is it?
Yeah, like you're proper Chelsea. Like,
what's proper Chelsea?
Well, yeah,
like, you know what it means to be like
brown
like
envelope.
what Steven Gerrard is to Liverpool, like what like what Ledley King is to Spurs. Like, you just embody the club, right?
What, Mason Mount? Minerals.
Don't.
Merseyside Mount.
Oh, bloody hell, don't get into that channel. But no, I mean, for me, it's just someone that embodies the club, and Frank does do that. I don't personally see that as a negative thing. I don't think most fans do.
I think it's been construed, though, to mean something different by rival fans to what it means for Chelsea fans.
Proper Chelsea.
Really? To me, proper Chelsea means bad shit.
If I'm going to stereotype it.
Oh, what, like racist Chelsea?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, proper Chelsea. You know what I mean, boy? Oh, yeah.
Oh, we have a different word for that in the fan base, but I don't know
if someone said, yeah, I'm proper Chelsea, I am, Fuad. I know you're Tottenham, but I'm proper Chelsea, me. What would you assume that means?
Just a proper Chelsea.
Yeah.
No, I'll take myself to the other side of the room.
We have a word for that kind of fan within our fan base, but it isn't proper word? Chelsea.
Cockney blue.
Like a Yerdar.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we call it.
A what?
Yodas, I've heard that.
Yoda?
Like the kind of, the stereotype of the Chelsea fan that's a bit prehistoric, shall we say.
What are they called? The Tottenham ones, I think they're called the 1882ers. I don't even know.
Yeah, like it.
Everyone's got the old set of OG fans. I think they always kind of look at it like, those are the old heads. They look down at the young, like,
right.
Oh, I know your bloody TikToks in the stadium.
Yeah, what are these bloggers doing? When I was here in 1968, there weren't no bloggers in the stadium.
We only had one stand.
There was John Hodgson and that was it. And even that was
We
enough.
used to stand next to him.
What are these fan channels going on now?
Tell you
Back
what
in
though,
my
they
day.
do have the best variety of songs and lyrics in their songs, don't they?
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course we do.
Yeah,
mate.
you're-
Chelsea.
That's actually the Mudrick song as well. That
Chelsea.
one. What's Boris Johnson's son waffling on about? Says Buffalo Soldier.
Good
I don't
question,
know. This is the
Buffalo
same guy that called you Boris Johnson's love child earlier on as well.
I prefer not to speak.
Fight him.
I
Yeah,
prefer
maybe-
not to speak.
maybe just
Really, I
don't
prefer
speak.
not to speak.
Yeah.
If I speak, I'm in big trouble. Okay.
That's quite good to be fair. It's not bad at all. Maguire, Fred, and Weghorst on, says LFC.
Shutting up shop then. Who on?
We're opening it back up.
Who on for? Actually, who did they come on for? I can imagine Fred
You
coming
tell
on
me.
for Ericsson.
You tell me, mate. I've got no interest.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Congrats to Liverpool
Varane
in
came
top
off.
4. Maguire is on, and Weghorst United basically have 9 men, says Furore.
Yeah, Varane came off for Maguire. Varane's first came back. I suppose that makes sense. And Fred on for Ericsson.
There you go.
Maguire Howler.
Yep.
Incoming, potentially. Congrats, Cass, for breaking your DR curses.
Still another.
Guys,
10
keep
minutes.
sending in that same comment, please, because the game is not over. I'm hoping for a Wolves equaliser.
So you do care then?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Talk to me. There's a chat here saying, AGT, do you think Newcastle will bottle the top 4? I'll try and find it. Yeah, Brazy said it. If Manchester United win today, which it looks like they will, they go to 66, level on points with Newcastle. Way worse goal difference, but do then Newcastle get dragged into the argument of, well, now you can't slip up because Liverpool, again, if they win on Monday, I'm going to be at that game in Leicester. If they win there, then Newcastle
They've got games that they should be winning. Man United have games they should be winning. What about Liverpool though? Who says you win on Monday night? Who said you're going to win
That's
against
what I'm
Unai
saying,
Emery's Aston Villa if he sets up the bank?
Leicester
fours?
very poor. Leicester
Yeah,
very
no,
poor.
but when
And
it's-
then Southampton away last game. Like,
we don't
batter
know
them.
what type of. This is what I mean when it comes to the relegation teams. Like, when it comes to just sheer will, a
Fulham.
desire to get you through a game, sometimes that's all you need.
But Fulham on the beach absolutely slaughtered Leicester. So
Yeah, of course.
that would probably be why I'd.
I think it's either going to be something like, I don't think Liverpool lose the game. It's either going to be a 2-2 or it's going to be an absolute killing, like 4-0 from Liverpool. That's what I say with Liverpool. You just don't know which one you're going to get, and more than likely, considering form and everything going on,
The good Liverpool.
have started very fast in all their games. And that could be all they need to just kill off Leicester.
Yep.
Say you're not going to get a goal. Van Dijk, sorry mate.
If we score a couple in the first half,
Yeah,
that
it's
game is done.
No, even one. I think even one will do. But James Maddison is picking up. They are getting a bit of goal scoring form.
Oh, that's a big chance
goal,
that for Weghorst, right under the bar.
Shock.
The whole
From a
Weghorst
great
at
corner
Cam,
from-
the whole
Wow.
Weghorst at Cam
Attacking mid.
was a very
No, it worked.
that
It's worked one or two times
nasty.
against Leeds. At Leeds, it was weird. It worked, but that gimmick stopped working.
just
You know what I mean? He tried
weird,
against Barcelona. It didn't work.
He's a big
Stop it.
target man,
It's a
like-
bit like Bruno on the right hand side. I can't stand it. Or left. I don't understand why have you gonna have to use your best 10, or you could say forward version or advanced 8 in a right hand side position. He's useless out there, in my opinion. He's worked in a couple games when you're controlling a game, Leicester and all that kind of stuff, but it just comes down to Erik Ten Hag. Like he hasn't got everything right, and that's most managers don't get everything right in their first seasons at their club, at the first club that they go to. So learning curves for everybody.
Yeah, no, and I think Ten Hag has done a good job this season. I mean, I don't know if that would be. I assume you'd share that view, Kaz, but
anyone that's Ten Hag out don't support Man United.
Yeah.
They don't. I'm sorry. I can't. I refuse to believe it.
Yeah, that would. I don't think that sounds unfair.
And everyone's
to me.
entitled to opinions, but I couldn't give a crap about that opinion too much.
I think he's been brilliant.
It.
I think he's been superb for United. People forget how poor United were by the end of last season.
This is what I mean. People just forget. People when there's good times going on and you've won a trophy and you can see something going on, and it's not just on the pitch at times, but also off the pitch. But people want to forget about that. And they want now. It sounds like you Chelsea fans, and I don't want to be branded as you lot because you lot are a spoiled fan base.
Yep, couldn't agree more, mate. But my point is that if it is Pochettino and he gives us a season next year like you've had this year at Man United, I would shake on that right now. So, and I remember how poor everyone's saying how bad Man United were last season and players not caring, not playing for the shirt, all of that. And you've been superb this season, I think.
Cass is worried, says MKH in the chat. We've also got a comment here that's made me laugh. I've never known a club to throw a player under the bus so quick. Leave Mountain Weghorst alone, says Toby Larone.
Who? Oh,
Mountain Weghorst, yeah. Come on, Wolves, says MKH. We laugh at Spurs, says Meshash. Wedge Horse missed a massive sitter. Yeah. Come on, Wolves, for Cass's sake, says Kevy.
You know what? You'd think someone that's 6'5" or 6, whichever way you want to go about it, would be a lot better in the air. Or even stronger. A stronger stance. But
just to hold up the ball, yeah.
He's just not good enough. He's not even an average striker. He's below it. And I defended him at first because I know what he is. I know we didn't have a choice.
He's
really
desperate to be loved by the fans.
Yeah, but I do love him for the final moment he gave to Rashford though in the Carabao Cup. I do.
Stinks of desperation, innit?
Yeah.
But yeah, when he's come out in the press talking to so-called journalists, whoever it may be, and he's saying stuff. Obviously, he wants to stay at Man United. He's been doing this and that. He thinks he can offer more than the current Man United striker who scored today as well. It's like, no, you don't though.
No.
You look worn out, to be fair. You did when you first came. You looked quite decent with his touches, but now it's just too much for me.
Garnacho plays it across to Bruno, who gets a corner for United after a really poor layoff from Jimenez, who had to run the whole pitch back to
Crazy, isn't it?
Get that ball back. VAR review at Villa Park. We're not too sure what it is at the minute. It's 2-0 still to Villa, as we know. AGT, can you cheer up Fuad? Poor guy needs a holiday.
Mate.
Checking for a potential penalty here. That's
Harry Kane going over.
Typical Kane.
Yeah, that's a penalty. That's definitely a penalty.
He got the ball first.
And there you go.
Look at the trajectory of the ball. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a penalty.
2-1. Bang on.
I reckon Kane, I reckon that's...
Oh, wait, did Kane push
it a red?
Man, how rich would I be, eh?
Is it a red for the keeper, though?
Emi Martinez apparently wants to leave as well. Listen.
Chelsea linked with him this week as well.
Yep. Penalty it is.
I think
it is a penalty.
There you go.
And we will see Harry Kane potentially score and also put some more pressure on.
Did I not say that customary Harry Kane penalty?
He seems to get a goal every game, even when Spurs have been dreadful. He always seems to find his way to get a goal.
Like Salah. Literally, he could have an awful game and he'll get a tap in.
I don't know. I don't know if there was a... Did he... I didn't really see it correctly. I thought Martinez got a hand on the ball first, or did Kane push the ball away with his foot?
Kane's clever because he knows,
foot.
get a touch, even if you know you're not going to get that touch. Just get a touch, anything, and you get a pen. Keeper's coming out
just beat the keeper to it, yeah.
Yeah,
just coming out flying.
Rash.
Recently, Martinez been linked to... see?
But I'd be keen... I'm surprised it's not a yellow or something for the keeper there. I would have thought, given it's quite rash, maybe he'd have... I never quite know in those...
Been awarded.
The pen?
Yeah, awarded.
It's on our screen, mate.
We're just waiting for
Harry Kane to rifle into the top right corner
to maybe get a consolation here, or press on with potentially getting a draw. But he's got to score it first.
Yeah,
and we're still waiting.
Yeah,
and
it's a goal.
It's a goal. Harry Kane does get that penalty. Is there any late chance here for Tottenham to equalise?
be a big point.
Probably too little, too late. Last 3 minutes into normal time,
wouldn't say no,
or
though.
last 2
I wouldn't
minutes,
say
and
no.
then
Anything can happen in the Premier League.
anything, because we don't know how many minutes are going to be added on at the end, and it's not unlike Spurs.
Do you believe it?
Yeah, kind of, a little bit.
I don't believe you believe
You know what it is?
I don't believe you believe it.
You know what it is, though? When the momentum shifts, when the momentum shifts, and
Yeah.
Villa are going to sit back now, evidently sit back. There's one player that you're going to look towards that can get you something out of nothing, and it is Harry Kane.
Ashley Young, just before the penalty, was kicking the spot. I think he's just got a yellow for it.
Oh, for scuffing
Kicking the
up
penalty spot, yeah.
Yeah, you got to do that.
Something similar.
Got to do the
earlier with
nonsensical stuff.
Yeah, when defenders do that, it's just not sport.
Emi Martinez as well, the king of putting people off.
I like when
As Bruno knows.
I
At
can't
penalties.
stand Emi Martinez.
I like
We're
when
approaching the 90th minute now
linked with
at
you.
Old Trafford.
He
Can
is, yeah, I was
Wolves
talking about that last
pull off a madness in the last few minutes?
I like when teams have a system when they're awarded a pen and the captain actually goes and stands on the spot to make sure it doesn't get scuffed. I think.
But what they're doing now is they've got the decoy. So Trippier today stood on the spot
Yeah.
for ages. All the mind games came and went, and then he throws the ball to Wilson, who scores.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the actual penalty, see
We've
if
done
it's a
that
good
as
one
well.
from Kane. They normally are. And that's a good pen.
except
Gets
he
the
don't
ball.
miss.
He just doesn't miss the penalties, does he?
Don't say that.
He does though.
Except against
Really
France,
important
mate.
ones.
No,
He
he
does
just
miss.
doesn't. Well, England's different, but club for club, his penalties are top notch.
Yep.
Typically they are, yeah.
We saw
90
earlier. Look
minutes,
how
though.
it's not easy to take a penalty. Look at
No,
Bamford.
it's not. No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
It's a skill in itself.
Still 2-2. Chelsea, Nottingham Forest. It's been a tale of two players, really. Awani and Raheem Sterling have scored all the goals in that game. Any late drama in that one, let us know. Maybe Cass and Tom's curse cancel each other out, or Cass asked DR to find someone with a worse DR curse than him, says LJ Brown.
I'm coming off the Lawless.
So I've had a few watch-alongs.
Lawless
Lawless
had
got
some
one more win
howlers.
over me.
I've had a few
Actually, loads of
watch-alongs.
losses.
Lost every watch-along I've done. And whenever we've been on Saturday show, lost every time, maybe 3 or 4 times now. So, yeah, it's pretty rotten, to be honest.
6 minutes added on at Man United, and I think a couple minutes has been played in the injury time currently.
AGT, what's the Notts County score? I believe it's still 1-0 to Chesterfield at Wembley.
That's just...
We'll get confirmation for you on that one as soon as it pops up, but that would be a massive disappointment
I
for
think, yeah,
County,
Half time
wouldn't
in
it?
Strasbourg, Nice.
Chesterfield still 1-0.
It would hurt as a
1-0, yeah.
fan to get to... I just could not imagine how hard that must be to get that many points, to do so well in a
Try getting
season.
98 points and not winning the Premier League, mate.
They've got 107, mate.
Yeah, but it's not the Prem, is it?
No, it is more games, but
More games. I'll give you that.
Still angry
it's always got to be about Liverpool, isn't
Still
it?
fucking going on about that.
Always got to be about Liverpool.
No, cheers.
Always about Liverpool,
Cass
isn't
is proper Chelsea, says base face in space.
Proper Chelsea, never.
We're having more debates about this proper Chelsea thing. Like,
Diallo asked me top 3 favourite Africans to play for Liverpool. Mo Salah, obviously, Sadio Mane, and Salif Diao.
Juve, that's what I think as well.
yeah, Juve, yeah.
No, I'll
Hash
go
Juve.
with...
Momo Sissoko.
Keita.
Oh, I love Momo, you know.
I remember
Keita,
for like
no
a year
way.
or two before he got that big injury, he was a monster.
Fulham game just finished.
But then luckily Mascherano came in, and then it was almost like he became the forgotten man. I remember Sissoko, man. Good times.
Do you know what?
Good
Apart
days.
from Salah and Mane, there's no standout African players for me, unless I'm doing someone a massive disservice. By the way, Southampton Football Club have been relegated.
If they lose today, they would have been relegated.
Good.
Yeah.
About
They've
time.
gone down, boys.
About time.
They've
Just
gone
sad
down.
for them.
Good.
I mean,
That is so sad
no,
for
they've
them.
been run so well for so long, and then it's last few years been an
be
absolute
fair,
disaster from them. And
Great point.
It's
I
cost
think
them
that
position in
they
the
are
cup.
actually, we talk about clubs come up and they do well, like Swansea is always an example that gets used, but they are actually the prototype because they came up and they've been up for 10 years. The first 5 years, you got to remember, they were getting the plaudits that Leicester, Brighton, all these teams now, the money ball routine, they were the first ones. Then you lot came and cherry picked them and basically rifled the soul out of them. And I felt like
Gave them a lot of money for it. though.
I
They
get
built
it,
a training ground back
but you lot took the soul out of their club.
Oh, so it's hard.
But they still did well.
And they had a tough time rebuilding after that. I always
So if
felt
we
like.
didn't take Van Dijk, he would have stayed there. If we didn't take
not Van Dijk.
Lallana,
Guys like
Mane.
Lallana and Lambert, you didn't need to take. You just leave them there. Let them become club legends at Southampton instead.
Man United 2-0.
Come be squad players for us.
Man United 2-0 at AGT. Let's have a look if you still care.
2-0 to Manchester United.
you still
I
care.
did say you'd win 2-1.
Oh, imagine it. Oh, please don't let
You
me
did say.
predicted 2-0.
2-0. I predicted.
I said 2-1 they'd win. So Garnacho.
Ah, Starboy back on the scene.
Good player, really good player.
Respect me now, DR Sports fans. Talk to me nicely. Talk to me nicely. I deserve it. Anyways,
it's a home win against Wolves.
No. I'm taking anything. I'm taking anything.
Kill me.
I'm taking anything.
Interesting point that's been made. Apparently, Forest settling for a draw here, just really parking the bus, taking the point.
It's a good point for them.
In the position they're in, it probably does give them the upper hand, but we're there for the taking, in my opinion.
You know what it is though? It's this week I've been getting absolutely. Yeah, like caned proper, yeah. Man United, but Man United's form is not that great. But I keep telling people about our home form. It's different.
And that's why I do think you'll still get top four.
That's why I've always said it. And
I couldn't see you losing today.
Oh, what ball? Who played that ball?
Oh, is he going to finish it himself? Oh, decent.
Decent finish, that.
I couldn't see United losing today, to be honest, even though you've been on bad.
Takes his shirt off, he'll be
just
getting
trying
a
to show
yellow
off
for
his
that.
little new tattoos. Yeah, we all know, man. Alright, well done, blood. Go put Vaseline back on, man.
He's just got new teeth as well.
And a scabby chest.
Garnacho.
He's got the brace thing.
It's probably a club fine for that, getting the yellow for that.
How much do you actually have to pay to? Because a yellow card you actually get fined.
£500.
Yeah, but that's not going to be.
Isn't it just
sign a new contract?
Isn't it just the club? Isn't it just the club fines? Like if you get
he will get fined for that.
No,
for a yellow card.
Yeah, you have to fined.
Do you not understand?
Cards.
FA will milk anything they can. It's like the government. They'll find anything they can find to tax.
If you yellow, give you a fine if you get a yellow card.
But do you not play like Saturday, Sunday? They charge you at that level. I'm like, blood fight. Of course they're going to charge you at Premier League level.
When I told you Tottenham just equalised.
No,
what did I just tell you?
They have not, have they?
They've just equalised.
Tottenham have equalised at Villa Park.
Believe in me, I'm not predicting today.
Where are you seeing this, bro?
So good today.
Where are you seeing this?
You can never rule it out in the Prem.
Flash will tell you.
Full time as well at Chelsea. They've drawn at home to Nottingham Forest.
It's the first time we've not
lost. And we're still waiting for confirmation on this Tottenham equaliser. It's full time at Chelsea. It's full time at Crystal Palace. Full time at St Mary's. Southampton are now down. And we're still seeing.
Son scored.
Sonny
scored.
Son has scored an equaliser for Tottenham. That must be the last kick of the game.
It looks like it's
surely. Or is it given though?
I don't know why I'm happy for you, Fuad.
Look at the XG.
I don't know why
I'm happy for you, not Tottenham, for you.
Nah.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be happy about.
I told you. No, I'm happy that I was right.
That's it. You ain't happy with me, you're happy, you're right.
This phone did say 2-2, but it hasn't come up on this programme here. It is now full time at Old Trafford. Manchester United have won 2-0 at home to Wolves. Martial and Garnacho with the goals, further cementing their position really to finish maybe even third now, but definitely in the top four. They still need 6 points or so to guarantee it.
6 points.
But they've got that 3 points at home to Wolves. What is going on here at Villa Park?
It's Son. Mile offside,
it's Son with the goal.
Please, man.
He doesn't really sell it. It's full time. It's finished 2-1 to Aston Villa.
That's a country mile offside, man.
I'm even more happy then.
Villa win. Jacob Ramsey and Douglas Luiz with the goals. Payne got that consolation penalty.
I don't see nothing being confirmed.
Minute. But that's it, guys. That's your lot, folks. He's well offside. He's well offside.
He's well offside.
That makes me more happy.
That's just so mean. Kaz, that is just horrible. If someone had done that, that is horrible. Oh, it's 2-2. It's 2-2.
No,
I never bought it.
That's such bait, man.
I did say he scored.
See?
He came out there, he scored, and he come up on my flash score.
Lesson learned there. Stay away from that cheap flash score app. They're liars. That's the lesson we learned just there.
Harry Weston asked what's the shouting in the background of your studio.
Apologise to the Tottenham fans.
I was going to make a joke then, but not one comes to mind. I'm not going to tell you what the shouting is. But it is offside. It is offside and it is full time. And Aston Villa get the win and go above Tottenham in the table.
All eyes on Liverpool now.
That is it. I will be there on Monday night. Can't wait for it, man. You know what? Recently, we've not had the best record there as well at Leicester.
I remember the Vardy screamer all those years ago.
That was.
It was a few years ago.
That was years and years ago. That was the year they won the league.
Insane goal.
A long time ago. But there it is then. That is your full-time whistles have gone at every ground now in the Premier League. Chelsea drawing at home to Nottingham Forest. United doing the business, keeping another clean sheet as well. And they've won 2-0 at home to Wolves. Aston Villa have done it against Tottenham. We thought it was a very late equaliser, but it was offside. Harry Kane with the consolation penalty. Crystal Palace have beaten Bournemouth, and as we know, Southampton have lost at home to Fulham 2-0, and they go down for the first time in how long? How long have they been in the Premier League?
2013, 14 maybe?
10 years they've been in 10 seasons they've been in the Premier League now, yeah.
Wow. Let us know how you feel about Southampton going down. A very good Premier League team
Who
that
are
they've
we
been for a while.
Last few years, though, they're
James Ward-Prowse, come on down.
Yeah.
Bella Kocha.
Come on down.
Romeo Lavia.
Come on down.
Come on down.
Mazuni.
Come and join a nice little club. Big club.
Salisu.
LJ Brown says, Cass, while I wanted you in the mud, Spurs and Fuad tears is even better.
I can't really see any. To be fair on Fuad, there's no tears from Fuad, and there hasn't been from.
Tier 3 since 03, baby. Come on, man. We don't cry around here.
Using that
We big
shampoo,
boys.
innit? No more tears.
That's a throwback, you know. Kids today won't know. Yeah.
What made you to cry though? I don't know.
L'Oreal kids.
Do you know what I mean? No more tears.
No
If that got
tears.
in your eye,
No
you were
nasty
crying for a
nuts.
good
Split
6
ends.
hours. Yeah.
No way. People gotta wait up.
Nits? No more nits?
These days, it's that mid shower gel that everyone falls for.
Absolutely.
That
Do you
is
know what?
garbage.
I used that shower gel in the home dressing room at Anfield on Wednesday, and it spiced things up. Let me tell you that.
Yeah,
I don't know how many lemons they got in there, but it was zesty.
Did you really play at Anfield on Wednesday?
Yeah,
Alex?
mate.
I
I'll tell you the full
haven't
story
heard about
after.
it, mate.
Mate, I'm going to be dropping... You think this is bad? I'm going to be dropping that till I'm 80.
yeah, 100%.
Rightly so
Rightly
as well,
so.
by the way. Come on. L'Oreal, big up to DMYG. Shout out to you. Fuad got the sore eyes there, says Darwinian chimp. United nailed on for top 4. Glory, glory, Man United, says DMB. Fuad needs his bed, says Buffalo Soldier. And the curse has been broken from Troy.
Respect me, Troy. I know Troy respects me, and I want an apology as well. Actually, I want a lot of apologies. I'll be getting apologies the next few days.
Well, just before we go, let's have a little prediction for the big fight tonight. You can see that on DR Sports. We've got Laurie, we've got Nick, we've got James too, in the usual faces when we cover boxing on this channel. KSI versus Joe Fournier. Who wins this one tonight? KSI obviously carding himself in his own promotion. I'm
going to be honest. I don't know much. I don't know much about this Fournier guy. I don't know if he's actually a boxer at that, but I know KSI has been training. And he's probably lined this sort of fight because he knows he's probably going to win.
Yeah, I think KSI wins that one fairly easily.
One thing I'll give to KSI, he's got relentless energy.
Yeah.
So
Deji also fighting as well against Swarms. Looking forward to that.
My
Swarms
word, that's
is a baller, you know.
No, I know his I played with his brother Bobby as well. Very, very gifted footballer. Very good. And he was telling me when he was at Southend, Swarms was crazy good on the wing. He's crazy good, and literally he chose to do music in the end.
Yeah.
And,
well, I had him on posting in on GRM, and he was top of the leaderboard for a while. He did slip over and create a viral clip in that video, but he was very good.
Yeah.
KSI to win.
KSI.
Yeah.
Don't really watch the old boxing at the moment, but yeah, I would say KSI just based off of what you guys are saying.
Well, the way Chelsea have been getting beat up this season, you should do, mate. I'll give you that. Right, that is all for your Saturday football show today. Match day 36 on DR Sports. Massive shout out again to Cass. He's finally broken the curse.
Does he get? Does Tom get a clap as well because he got a draw?
First time we haven't
Let me
lost.
get to him.
Yeah.
Got to let the presenter do his thing. Big up to Fuad as well. A loss today for Tottenham, but you pretty much predicted it. And a massive shout out as well to Tom, as well, the Chelsea fan, taking his draw on the chin today. We love to see it. Remember, guys, the boxing is on later, and if you do want to win that PS5, head over to On Track GP's Instagram to find out how you can win it.
I've already won it.
I've actually seen it in the office earlier, so should we just...
Don't bother, I've already won it. I'm going to take it home as soon as this is finished.
No, not if I get there first, mate. Join me on FIFA on there tonight. And make sure you watch the boxing. Is there anything else? Make sure you like the video, comment as well. Make sure you watch the weekend roundup show on Monday, by the way. That's going to be an
Any Spurs fans want to cheer themselves up, go check out the SOS
Yes, on
I'm
DR
sure
Sports as well.
It will happen, all over again.
Yeah. Also, if you're interested, we did a kit review for all the kits next season in the Premier League. I did that one on DR Sports, so make sure you go and watch that as well. I've been AGT. This has been the Saturday Football Show on DR Sports. We'll see you next week, shall we?
KSI, Joe Fournier, Saturday the 13th of May, 8 p.m.
Catch the boxing live on DR Sports.